game?
Oh, we'll go with the Dragons.
Sandhurst for me as well. To get the call underway on Live 25 Local Fresh Footy, here's John Hunter.
Schmetzer does the ruck work for the Dragons, and we've got a whistle for a hold. Not sure if it was off the footy, it must have been, but Tardrew. So they're worried about him already, Metro.
Yes, he can be a hard man to stop.
Absolutely. So he gives it off by hand. He's got a running teammate in Connick. Connick now goes to half forward, and they're going to go inside forward 50 through Morris. Morris goes shallow. It was a short little dinky kick. Contest form, ground level. Still mucking around with it. 48 metres from goal. Dragons in attack. 30 seconds gone this opening term. Live 25, Local Fresh Footy.
So it looks like Joel Swatton's going to be running with Lockie Tardrew today, Metro, so keep an eye out on for that matchup. That's probably as expected. On cue, Swatton gets the kick and clears it out towards centre wing, picked up by Strubens. He bangs it 40 metres up in the air. It ends out carrying a bit in the breeze, just shallow of the 50. It bounced okay for South Bendigo there. Knocked away inside, it spills out. It's going to be a flying shot here for James Davies, and it goes through, in fact, it's missed everything. It's gone out of bounds on the full right-hand forward pocket, and we saw last week that this right-hand forward pocket got dominated a lot in the interleague with this breeze.
Certainly did. As it's now Coughlin with a footy for the Dragons. Deep in his defensive zone. He'll look to bring it down broadcast side. Kicking into a strong breeze. 3 or 4 goal breeze. It moves in the breeze. Up flies right. Got his hands on the footy. Shark there by the Bloods through Darling. Darling goes forward. Roving front and centre was Davies. Handball over a teammate who has a shot at goal. Across the face. And no score. That was Antonowitz.
Small forwards rolls to have a shot, but a few teammates with their hands in the air in the middle of the ground there.
Yeah, I think Stephen Strubens was quite animated that the kick didn't get centred up there. So there's an early one as the Dragons will bring the ball back into play. Short pass finds its way to Liam Ireland. Ireland can go short to Morris. He does just that, but it's a bit of a ordinary kick. Morris had to trap it on the half volley, kicked it out. It worked out okay though for Lockie Hood. Couldn't be quite intercepted by Isaiah Miller. Hood did well, sent it down to Maxted. Maxted was absolutely brilliant last week for Bendigo in the interleague. Nice looking kick to Tom Campbell. Fist came in from behind just to knock it down, but Matt Wilkinson rolls with a footy. Wilkinson will go goalwards, and the mark will be taken in the goal square by Fergus Green. Not sure it was intended to get to Fergus. It might have been a shot on goal from Wilkinson, but Green's taken the mark and he'll line him up from pretty much directly in front.
Bit fortuitous there. I think he probably ran too far with the foot. He took an extra couple steps, but as he kicked it, he was kicked off balance and actually worked out well for Fergus Green.
So Fergus Green will come in and kick the first goal of the day. So first goal to Fergus Green. Interesting, him and Matt Wilkinson have both got 18 goals this year, so he now goes one up on Wilkinson. I'm not sure he'll pass the next one to him. Who knows? 1 straight 6 Sandhurst, no score South Bendigo. Fergus Green with the opener. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals, Live 25 Local Fresh Footy.
That goal's on the back of Lockie Wright there. His possession off half back. The kick that he took to hit the mark was the tricky kick. And he's been doing that all year, actually. They want the ball in his hands all the time, and that one kick opened up the rest of that play.
Back into the middle for the restart. Umpire Goodridge will throw the ball in the air. It'll be Crisp against Schmetzer. Crisp won it for the Bloods. Got the numbers inboard. A hurried kick comes out of the pack by Zimmerman of the Bloods. They'll go shallow inside forward 50. Defensively, working well will be Wilkinson. Had a lot of the footy. Dishes it off to a teammate who goes wide out of side wing. Swimming pool side. Now it's the Dragons. Inside forward 50. The target is Maxted. Falls at the feet. 30 metres from the goal that the Dragons are attacking, and with the Bloods they'll repel and kick it to the outer side wing.
That they will. The kick will go up the line towards Brody Haddo. Haddo takes the mark. Of course, also represented Bendigo last week, did Haddo. Short pass was good. Finds its way into a teammate. They'll chip it inboard. That's Fallon in the orange boots. Fallon's kick was nice to Strubens. Strubens has got an option in the middle, and it's Joel Swatton who's got a bit of space. He gets it and he goes inside forward 50. The kick was absolutely spot on from Joel Swatton, and a hard charging out Alexander Smith takes the mark. He's 45 out from goal, but his slight angle here, about 20 metres in from the boundary. He'll kick from almost on the 5 of the 50 here at the QEO.
You told me to keep an eye on Tarju and Swatton there. Swatton was actually prepared to work off him when they had the ball rather than live in his pocket, which is a really attacking way to tag.
Seen a lot of that going on with tagging in the higher levels of football this year. Smith will send it towards the top of the square. Didn't quite get the distance. It spills to the back end. Tonowitz at the ground level. Sharks it and goals. So Antonowitz gets the first for South. An opportunistic Crummers goal there. And it's a goal apiece here at the QEO. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Yeah, good goal there. Anton switch ground level. We got a quick mention before the game about the importance of probably Harvey and Antonovich at ground level on today's bit blustery conditions, and it proved to be good there. I think the defenders should know, into those small forwards, you can probably attack them with some tackle pressure because they're not giving the ball off. They're going to end up having a shot more likely than not. So really attack them hard and put a bit of pressure on.
Back in the middle. They'll go up in the ruck again. Chris jumped high, jumped early. He's winning the tap. Put it down the throat of Zimmerman, who was tackled well by the Dragons through Cooper Smith. And we'll have another ball up just forward of centre. Bloods are in attack. They've started well. Chris taps the ball down, but it's all with Sandhurst. Out of the middle. Smith receives a handball and will send it long for the Dragons. Up they'll fly. Maxted punched it to his advantage. Metres from goal. If he can only collect, he can't. And they'll just need to kill it here, the Bloods, and they do for a minor score. So they take the lead, Sandhurst, 1-1-7. They lead the Bloods, 1 goal straight, 6 minutes gone. Opening term, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Fallon brings the ball quickly into play. Hits the 50. They'll come down the wing, South Bendigo. It's a little barreling kick into the middle, but it's going to go straight into the hands of Darcy Mills for Sandhurst.
Keating.
Jack Keating, I should say. It is Jack Keating, 2 of the younger players for Sandhurst. So Keating, his short pass was not great. Missed its intended target there. Smetzer was the target, didn't get it. Bloods emerged with it. They'll send it out towards Zimmerman, who'll be taken over the boundary line by Lockie Wright. And we'll get a throw in right in front of the Sandhurst bench. Of course, one of the coaches in watching on down there, Bryce Curnow, not playing in the game this afternoon. Retired, then unretired. Might be retired again, I'm not sure. Or is he just injured? Or any ideas why he's not playing?
No, not sure on that one, no.
Might be just tired, Cam. A result of coming back and playing.
Managed.
Calling
that.
Yeah. As we've got another stoppage here. Right half forward. Bloods in attack. Crisp for the Bloods. Wins the tap to no true advantage. Wilkinson for the Dragons. Put his head over the footy. He was the only one that kept his feet because they all dived in over the top of it and caused a stoppage.
Great matchups out there today. Wilkinson and Haddo as well.
Right half forward. Crisp wins the tap to the back door. It was neat to Miller. Miller barely went the required distance. Marked there by Connick of the Dragons. That's barely gone the required distance. Umpire says play on. Right half forward. Bloods in attack. Ball spills towards the wing. Going in hard was Austin for the Dragons. Did well. Good strong tackling. Stoppage. Ball up. 1 point margin. Dragons lead. 8 minutes gone. Opening term. Live 25. Local fresh footy.
For the intensity that Geddes is bringing for South Bendigo in here. Ball up right in front of our broadcast. I think Chris knocks it down. Goes through and tackles straight away. Last weekend, it would have been a good opportunity for him to experience himself around that group. Connick gets out the back door, handballs it to the man of the moment, and Wilkinson over the top to the runner here, and this is Austin, the first gamer for Sandhurst, sends it inside forward 50. The kick didn't really favour anyone. Tracking back there will be Van Human for South Bendigo, and he'll happily see it over the boundary line for a boundary throw in.
Wilkinson
left-hand forward pocket.
Wilkinson's probably got the better of Haddo at the moment, which wouldn't very early days, but that wouldn't have happened too often, I wouldn't have thought.
Dragons deep in attack, forward pocket, ball in, Barnard Street end. Up they'll go in the ruck. Ball goes into the hot spot. It's dangerous there. Bloods need to be careful. They'll share it around, and on the end of a handball will be Hare. Hare the skipper now. He'll bring it down broadcast side to the wing. Strubens was the target at the back of the pack, but intercepting mark did very well was Lockie Wright for the Dragons.
He's also been good so far to this game, Lockie Wright. Another interleague representative from last week. There's plenty of them out there, so I'll be mentioning that a lot this afternoon. Inside forward 50 he goes. Mark not taken. Gets to the back, but here's a chance for Fergus Green at the front of the pack. Found some space. Kick might have been partially smothered on the way through, and it's gone out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right hand forward pocket. 1-1-7 Sandhurst. 1 straight 6 South Bendigo. Nearly 10 minutes gone in the opening quarter. It is darkening skies out there, Johnny. Certainly from an hour ago when we were watching.
It's going to rain, Cam.
There you go. Johnny's called the rain. Throw in inside forward 50. Maxted went up in the ruck for Sandhurst. So it was Shark there. Haddo got it off. Into the middle of the ground goes South Bendigo. The kick will be turned over though. Strong defensive mark taken for Sandhurst. And it's Lockie Wright who quickly plays on. Short pass in the hands of Lockie Hood.
Hood with the footy. Hood is good. I like the way he goes about it. Just weighing up his options. Bit of tempo footy. Now he goes long into the pocket. His target there was Campbell. Hit his hands. They've got the numbers into the goal square. Fergus Green has just been given a gift and pops it right through. Series of handballs ended up with him. So that takes now the scores to 2 goals straight 12 Sandhurst, 1 goal straight 6 South Bendigo. Score sponsor Don Smallgoods is Don is good. Live 25 local fresh footy.
As a key forward, Tommy Campbell be liking to grab those ones. Probably not too much pressure, and he grasped it, but it actually worked out better in the end because he's probably not kicking the goal from that pocket, but by dropping the ball allowed fast play, and the run and surge of the Dragons there ended up in Green's hands, and he probably could have given it to 2 other players if he
You're
liked.
not hinting it might have been an intentional drop there, are you, Metro?
Absolutely not, mate. The forwards only thinking about themselves, but just worked out well on that occasion.
So the non-officiating umpire's called a free kick out of the middle here. It'll be Seb Collins that gets the footy. A little bit of confusion to work out what the free kick was for. Collins goes short to Austin, who's been busy early in the orange boots. First game for Sandhurst, 3 games for the Pioneers this year. Inside forward 50 he goes, and Fergus Green comes in from the side and clunks it. Fergus Green has been very, very busy early for Sandhurst, and he can line up for his 3rd goal in the first 12 minutes of the contest. The first 2 were a bit easier than this one, though. He'll line up 40 metres out, slightly in line with the left-hand goalpost, kicking towards the Barnard Street end, but it's ominous signs for South Bendigo if Sandhurst are able to kick a couple of goals against the Breeze in this opening quarter.
Yeah, well, if James Bunn's sidekick over here's forecast is right and the rain does come, I feel like South's got the scoring end at the moment. They would want to make hay while the sun shines.
So for 3 goals in the first 10 minutes, Fergus Green comes in and he does not miss. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. He's got 3. Sandhurst have also got 3. They're 3-1-19. South Bendigo 1 straight 6. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder on Live 25 local fresh footy.
Another non-possession from Tommy Campbell then. I definitely like him playing deep. So the kick was intended to go in his direction. He built up there and took two opponents, which allowed Green just to float in from the side and take that mark. A bit of an update on the scores around the grounds. A flying start from Golden Square. 3-2-20 to Kangaroo Flat 0.
Back into the middle we'll go. Up they'll go in the ruck. No clear winner. Dead heat in the middle. Stoppage. Ball up. We'll do it all again. Smack bang in the middle of the home of country football, the QEO. Up they'll go. Now it'll be South Bendigo through Zimmerman. He got it from the tap. He goes into the pocket. His target was Rustbridge. Couldn't find him, and it goes over the boundary line.
South Bendigo made a change in the ruck with Zayden Lockwood going in, and Dragons are still sticking with Smetzer, which I feel like they might need to do a change because he won't be able to go with Cripps all day.
So we throw in inside forward 50. Seb Collins, the other ruckman for Sandhurst. Down there at the moment, Smetzer. Knocked down, flying shot out of there from South Bendigo. Might have come from Stephen Strubinson amongst all that pack, but it slammed into the post. So 1-1-7 now, South Bendigo, 3-1-19 Sandhurst. 2-goal ball game, 13 minutes gone. It's been a pretty entertaining opening 13 minutes though, Johnny.
Lockie right, it has indeed, Cam. For the Dragons, will play on from fullback. Unusually brings a broadcast side. They don't often do that. They usually go swimming pool sides with Morris. Morris of the Dragons. Geez, that ball held up in the wind. It is a wind too. It's with the debutant Howard. He's played Pio's 3 games this year for Sandhurst, and he's got the nice pink boots on. He'll go to the wing, holds up in the wind as well. A good strong mark. It's being taken by Smith. Smith will go now to half forward. It's with Hood. Hood now. He turns inboard. He'll set himself. Green will be the target, of course. Spills to ground level. They've got a numbers. Who can pick it up directly in front? 40 out from goal. Stoppage. Ball up. In attack. Sandhurst. They lead 19 playing 7 midway through this opening term.
Windy conditions, got to play in front. The ball's dropping that front position. So Smith's not a big player, but took a nice strong pack mark.
So Collins goes up in the ruck. It was against Fallon, which was an interesting one. South Bendigo work it out to Tom Burton. Little dinky pass was good. Going back with the flight and taking the mark will be Harvey. Harvey gets it moving quickly to Geddes. Geddes sends it up towards centre half forward. Kick just carrying over the back. No mark taken there, but it spills. It's going to be a flying shot which will bounce goalwards right to the line for South Bendigo. It was Callum Crisp who's having a spell forward, and he's got the minus score for them. So they've missed a couple of opportunities here, the Bloods, but good ball movement out of the middle. 1-2-8-3-1-19, 15 gone, opening quarter. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25 local fresh footy.
Wright will kick it in. Lockie Wright. He goes swimming pool side now. Plays on. He gallops beyond 50. It was a good hit. He just couldn't quite hold onto it. His teammate in Lockhart, who comes into the team this afternoon as well. He's played 11 Pioneer games. As we'll have a ball in, 70 from home. South Bendigo in attack. 19 playing 8. Dragons lead midway through this opening term.
Throw in on the top of the 50. Trying to find a way through there for Sandhurst was Stagg in and under, as he so often has been. Tardrew, yet to call his name, got it off to Wilkinson. Wilkinson just found a way through, gave it off to Lockie Hood. Hood then gives it off, short pass, Stagg into the middle. Mark taken. They'll run it all the way inside forward 50. It'll result in a running shot and goal for Cooper Smith, and that would have been a captain's goal, but he misses.
Probably would have liked to do a little bit better there, but that lead-up play was fantastic. The run and carry into the breeze, perfect, sharing it by hand.
In fact, I think he's missed everything and kicked it out of bounds on the full, so that's a really disappointing result for Cooper Smith. Had a lot more time than he thought, and he was running into an open goal.
He could have kept going.
Yeah, so it'll be a free kick for South Bendigo, and they'll bring the ball back into play.
Davies, South Bendigo, plays on from fullback for the Bloods. Up they'll go. They'll set themselves at the back. Ireland got hands on footy, couldn't mark it. We're all tied up again. Left half forward, Dragons in attack. Broadcast side. Umpire Dean Goodrich officiating this afternoon. Throws the footy in the air. Might have given away a free kick, the young fella in Lockwood. He does. He got one for too high and gives a free kick to Collins of the Dragons.
Collins wastes no time, wheels around and sends it into the hot spot for Sandhurst. Tommy Campbell came out, couldn't quite take the mark. Wilkinson almost sharked it. South Bendigo will get a lot of players back to force the ball up inside forward 50. They're looking dangerous every time they go inside 50 at the moment, though, the Dragons. Ball up. Knocked down Collins, and Collins done his own ruck work, sends the ball goalwards. In fact, it's gone 15 metres up in the air and barely 5 metres forward. Going through for Sandhurst there and knocking it away might have been young Howard in his first game, I reckon. In fact, it was Fergus Green, I should say. Both of those guys got the orange boots on this afternoon. It is very dark conditions out there at the moment here at the QEO. Lockwood got first hands to Haddo. Haddo then couldn't quite control it. Hood dives in there, as too does Stagg. Little dribbling kick inside forward 50. Howard came out, collected. Clean pick up from Howard. Nice handball out to Morris. Morris will go goalwards. It bounces over the top of the intended target. Almost went through for a goal.
Just touched on the line.
Yeah, but the South Bendigo defence on the last line will force the point. Tom Brereton will bring the ball back into play.
Doesn't muck around. Brereton, they kick in from fullback to the outer side. 20 playing 8. I'll just share it around in the back half here, the Bloods. Looking to build. Dragons doing most of the attacking. Short pass ends up with Zimmerman in his defensive arc. Now for the Bloods. Runs and goes. He'll go long. It's a 60-metre ball to half forward. He did not look. He kicked it straight to the opposition and the Dragons to Ireland, and that was a poor result.
It was. I like the build-up. Just because you got the win doesn't mean you have to blaze. I thought they were building nicely, and he just pulled the trigger then without looking.
Ireland went the switch kick to Connick, and Connick's kick just didn't quite get its target, and it bounces out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Pool side wing. Pretty healthy crowd in attendance here at the QEO. Of course, both these sides used to occupy this ground, but South Bendigo have now moved out to Harry Trott, so not too many games on the QEO for them this year. It'll just be their second game after playing Eagle Hawk here earlier this year on Anzac Day. South Bendigo received a free kick for Anthony Zimmerman. He got the holding the ball free kick, and he took the quick advantage, played on, and now he's done holding the ball. Cooper Smith got him. Fascinating passage of play that. Smith goes inboard to Wilkinson, who's been everywhere at the moment. The handball to Howard. Howard's kick down the line was good, and they're away here, Sandhurst.
Short pass hits Austin. Austin now gives it off to Smetzer. Smetzer by hand. Whistle. Off the play. Dean Goodrich has given a free kick to Sandhurst. In fact, he's going to point the other way.
Yep. South Bendigo, yes.
So it was off the ball, Mitro. Didn't see it.
No one knows why, but there's a bit of holding going on behind the blokes.
Now the Bloods off halfback. To Crisp to the wing, broadcast side. By hand, dishes it off. They'll look to move it forward. Long, poor, high kick.
Rusbridge.
The kick come from Rusbridge, and he put it out of bounds on the full. Seems to be a little bit of a pattern forming with Bangor on the boot there, Mitro, I feel, for the Bloods.
Definitely, and if it's an indication of the pressure being applied, but I think there are definitely some occasions where they could have, at this level, a senior playing Bendigo footy, probably show a bit more composure with the ball.
Ireland brings the ball back into play. He'll hug the boundary line as well. Knocked away from South Bendigo there. That was Alex Davies. He looks like he's playing on Kobe Maxted this afternoon.
Doing a reasonable job there as well.
Alex Davies. A little bit more hair on the head of Kobe Maxted, I reckon, in that matchup. Metro, throw in, true centre wing position, grandstand side. Lockwood goes up, gets first hands to it, but it's sharked by Huey Smetzer in there. Knocked it to ground to a teammate who was pounced upon straight away. We'll try one more time for a ball up. Lockwood and Smetzer, the two ruckmen. Lockwood got it out, just missed Zimmerman. Bouncing towards the boundary line. It's picked up for Sandhurst here by Jacob Austin. Austin sends it up in the Tardrew direction. Got an ordinary bounce though, and it's picked off by Swatton. Swatton to Hare. Tried to go back to Swatton, but just missed the handball. Almost forced Sandhurst to come in with the turnover, but Swatton followed up his poor handball and laid a strong tackle to prevent the ball from getting out. So second effort was good from him. Ball up right on the paint of 50.
Barnard Street end, Dragons in attack. They lead by 12 points. 21 minutes opening term. Home of country football, the QEO. Stag over the top for the Dragons. It was a poor handball. Handballs it to a pack, and they all converge, and we'll have another stoppage. 40 from the goal that the Dragons attack. To the Barnard Street end. Dragons kicking against a 4-goal wind here at the QEO. In dispute. Still on half forward. 1 for 2 high. Bloods will get it off half back. That'll relieve the pressure. Spreading it wide now will be Brereton of the Bloods.
Brereton's kick was good into the middle. Handball further forward. Got onto the end of it, did Brereton. So the old chip and pass inside forward 50 goes, but the kick just didn't quite find its target. Mills intercepts for Sandhurst. Wants to go quickly to Austin. Austin goes quickly as well, but the kick just didn't favour anyone, and mark taken by Alex Davies. Davies sends it out wide, missed its intended target, but it still works out for the Bloods here for Smith. Smith to Zimmerman. Zimmerman from 55 just blazed away inside forward 50 and puts it through for a minor score. So they've missed some chances. They're now 1-3.
They could be right up there. It's just a fine line with the skill level by foot, just separating the two teams slightly at the moment.
11-point margin. Dragons lead. Brom played on quickly from the fullback from the kick in from fullback went to Wilkinson. Wilkinson now short. Goes to Connick. Connick on left half back. 10 metres in from the boundary line. Close to us, broadcast side. Maxted now marked it on the wing. Turns and goes to half forward. They'll set themselves. Ball spills to the front of the pack. Running through nicely was Austin. Handball to Tardrew. A little clever tap. Then he got it back. Handballs to the back door. Goes to Stag. Stag of the Dragons. I'm not sure he spotted up a target, but he hit one. Well, he did spot it up, but boy, oh boy, he just put that on the boot quickly, and they've got it deep in the forward pocket here with Fergus Green.
I think he sensed the handball's being overused a little bit. You know, you get that feeling someone just needs to get it on the boot and work hard, play in front, and you get the rewards.
Around the body, it was an awkward looking ball. He actually ended up doing a drop punt from a play on, and he messed it up.
That's no good.
21 playing 9. You don't say that very often about Fergus Green there, Mitro.
No, it happens to the best at times.
Fallon does the kick in duty. Short pass to Brereton. Brereton and then wheel out. It's a kick that's actually well weighted into the hands of James Davies for the Bloods. So Davies has got it. Grandstand side wing for South Bendigo. Sends a booming kick that's gone all of 60 metres up towards centre half forward. Smetzer at the back for Sandhurst. Knocked it forward. Collins went through and was collected high by Smetzer. So Jesse Collins, former of Eaglehawk and Lockington, now here at South Bendigo. He's 50 out from goal. He doesn't look anywhere near confident to go back and have the shot. And he just sends a kick in the direction of Zayden Lockwood. Carries over the back for him, though. Picked off for South Bendigo. Handball to Strubens. It came from Isaiah Miller, who looks to be playing forward. Sanders can turn it over. They'll work their way out of defence, but then trying to get away, and he's caught holding the ball.
Great pressure from South Bendigo there. They made a bit of a meal of it there.
It was Lockie Wright that got caught in the tackle, and might be Isaiah Miller on the far side. In the bright yellow boots, Isaiah Miller, he doesn't look confident either, sends it to the hot spot, and an easy intercept mark will be taken there by Lockie Wright, who makes up for his mistake before. He'll clear it out to Nick Stagg.
Stagg goes laterally across his defensive goal face. From one pocket to the other it went. Stagg of the Dragons decides to go back to the top of his defensive goal square to Ireland. So it's almost as if he's kicking in from full-back. Then he goes back to Stagg deep in the back pocket. He's 10 metres in from the boundary line. Down the line he goes to Wright. Wright marks it on his defensive arc of 50. Wright's been good this afternoon so far. Must be a candidate for our Bendigo City Framers sponsorship award, $100 to the winner this afternoon. He's just one of them, but not with that. His kick was smothered, did well really for the Bloods, was Swatton, and he's in trouble. Swatton earns a free kick.
Talk about a commentator's jinx, Johnny.
Great pressure as the fatigue starts to set
Take
in
it off him.
at the end of the quarter here. Those sort of tackles are real team lifting. If he can go back and generate a goal from here, then they're back within a kick. And I feel like they need it. This looks like it's going to be the scoring end today. They need to really get a goal at the end of this play at the 25-minute mark.
50 from home. He could almost touch the fence outside of the field of play. Now he runs in across the paint mark of 50. It won't be a score. It's in the hot spot. Back of the pack. It is out of bounds, no score, and we'll have a ball in. 21 playing 9. Dragons lead, 26 minutes gone. Opening term, live 25. Local fresh footy.
So do you want the eraser to cross out Lockie Wright's name that you just penciled into the Framers Award before?
Well, give a bloke a build-up, I know, but geez, he's got some mates out there, some good players out there. I envy Mitro giving the award out this afternoon.
Yes, it's the toughest job in footy at the moment, picking our Bendigo City Framers Best On Ground Sponsors Award every week, especially when you come to a Sandhurst game, because it just oozes of class and talent out there, and plenty of players that could win that on any day. Smets has been busy for Sandhurst in the ruck, got it out. Player tackled by Wilkinson.
I thought there might have been a few more goals kicked, actually, with all that offensive power we were talking about. It's been very contested, hard to come by.
So Sandhurst will try and clear this one out of the contest. Tracking after it will be Morris. He's tackled right on the paint at 50. We've got that window open here, Johnny, and that breeze starting to come through. It's getting very chilly, and it's getting a lot darker here at the QEO. Handball to Tarju. Tarju got it off to Smith. Smith then goes over the top and finds its way into the hands of young Austin. Austin's kick down the line just didn't really favour anyone in a Sandhurst jumper. Intercept mark for the Bloods. They'll come in board. Kick was poor, so Austin will get a second chance to recover. Handball to Maxted. Maxted with a loopy handball over the top to Charlie Robinson, who'll send it inside forward 50 to Tom Campbell, but he couldn't get back there, and leading the trace back will be Luke Darling, I should say. Darling will clear the kick across defence. They'll work their way up to Zach Hare.
Last two entries have favoured the opposition defenders.
Haddo received a mark for the Bloods in his defensive arc of 50, broadcast side. 10 metres in from the boundary line. Now he goes dangerously corridor. It's okay to Haddo. They'll switch it from one back pocket to the other. Out of side now. Target was found through Darling. Darling, short pass. That's a good hit as well. Move it nicely. Miller will go to Zimmerman. Too hard for him. On the wing. Turnover. Stagg gives it off to a teammate in Mills. Mills for the Dragons will go inside forward 50. Poor kick. Kicked it straight to the opposition again, Mitra.
Third time in a row.
So the Bloods will reset their way out of defence. Brody Haddo sends it up to Jack Fallon. Fallon's got it. Grandstand side wing here at the QEO. Comes central. It's a low darting pass that Zimmerman couldn't handle. If he was playing cricket, he's walking back to the pavilion because he's just been clean bowled. Tarju got it and handballed it out to Wilkinson. I'm liking Wilkinson's game at the moment. He goes 15 metres backwards and finds Ireland. Ireland's kick poor. Miss Smith. Turnover. Harvey picks up for the Bloods. 55. Kick towards Isaiah Miller. Might be front on contact, and it will be. It was either going to be a mark or front on against Lockie Wright, and he didn't mark it, so he gets the front. And a big blow right on the siren for Sandhurst. If you can go back and slot this one, Isaiah Miller.
No point in the defender continuing to push his case here. He might as well just put his hands up on the mark. Look, and what it was, he was front on contact. He didn't have his eyes on the ball. South Bendigo, it was actually lovely to see after the Dragons' 3 entries that were nowhere near to advantage. An actual kick to an advantage of the forward player. Now it's given him an opportunity to kick a much-needed goal right on the hooter of quarter time.
So Isaiah Miller, probably not known for his goal kicking, played a lot of his career down back. From 15 out directly in front. Oh, he's hit the post.
Wow.
That is a bad miss. And South Bendigo kick 1 goal with the breeze in the first quarter. They will be very, very disappointed. 1-4-10 the Bloods, 3-3-21 Sandhurst. It's an 11-point lead to the Dragons at quarter time. And it seemed like it was a quarter of wasted opportunity, Wayne Mitrovic.
Sandhurst versus South Bendigo, the home of country football. 11-point margin. The Dragons lead. Live 25. Local fresh footy. Here's Cam Power.
So Sandhurst will be looking to attack with the breeze. Smetzer gets the first clearance after doing the ruck work. Sends it up to centre half forward. Free kick pulled out to Lockie Hood, who was being held. He quickly wheels the kick in the green direction. But it was happy to get back in front of it there for South Bendigo. It was Jack Fallon doing the captain's work. Kick across towards Hare, who will be taken straight away in the tackle. We'll have a ball up underneath the scoreboard. The scoreboard has Sandhurst leading by 11 points here. 3-3 playing 1-4. A little bit of confusion down here. I might have just been nominating who the ruckmen were. Knocked down for South Bendigo, but it's stolen by Sandhurst. They'll wheel it back to the top of the square. It's going to be Ollie Morris that tries to float through, but it might have been Jack Fallon being held who received the free kick for the Bloods.
You know, when a side is dominating, when the other side, you go to pick the best players and it's difficult. And the Bloods, I found it difficult in that opening term. Crisp, who just kicked that footy. In fact, it might have been Miller, but I thought Crisp was pretty good. Zimmerman through the middle did really well, and probably Swatton through the middle really liked what he was doing. But they're up against it here, the Bloods. Let's see what they can do in this second term. As Miller takes a mark on the broadcast side wing, the ball came in from Lockwood. Now Miller kicking to the Barnard Street end. Inside forward 50. It's a shallow ball. Ball spills to the ground. Lockie Wright sees it over for the Dragons, and it'll be a ball in. 49 from home. Bloods in attack. They trail by 11 points. Second term, 1.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, throw in. Injured Sandhurst player down there in front of us here. Keep an eye on that. Metro.
Debutant Jackson Howard just like wandered off, grabbing his left butt cheek.
Cooper Smith in the middle of the ground. Handball's off. Finds Connick. Connick will send it inside forward 50. Didn't quite carry in the Tom Campbell direction. Charging through for South Bendigo. Handballing their way out of that will be Darling. I thought he was good in that first quarter. Darling's handball good. Found its way to Haddo. Haddo goes backwards to Brock Harvey. Harvey's got it. Short pass down the line. Lockwood couldn't quite take the mark. Was knocked away from him. Sandhurst have got numbers at ground level. Harvey comes up to even up the numbers a little bit, but the Dragons work it out. Wilkinson gave it to Smith. Then he got it back. He'll send it inside forward 50 in the Campbell direction, who was shoved out of it. Tom Campbell. Free kick. Advantage played. Running into an open goal and putting it through. I didn't quite say who the player was that took the advantage. I saw it dribbled through. It was either Fergus or Kobe.
I think it was Maxted.
Yeah, I'm going with Kobe Maxted as well.
If people think Lockwood's getting a lot of touches, we have one on each side.
Well, you need the advantage
your
there.
Stats. A Lockwood on both sides of the ledger here, one for each team.
Oh, okay, I'm with you. We haven't picked that up after a quarter football, Cameron.
One's Lockhart, isn't it?
Correction. Hang on. I'm not only late today, I'm actually getting the names wrong as well.
At school, were you the one with the good on numbers or letters?
Definitely numbers.
27 plays 10. Sandhurst lead. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals.
In the middle here, it'll be Haddo who wins it for the Bloods. You'll spread it wide to the outer side. His target was Nitschke. Couldn't find him, and the ball eventually makes its way to half forward swimming pool side. Barnard Street in. Bloods in attack. The young fellow with the hamstring, the debutant, I think he was, Jackson Howard, straight for the ice bucket. They went to Mitro.
Yep.
Coming back for him.
No coming back from that now, no.
As the Bloods dribble the ball out of side, but they've coughed it up. Connick now mops up for the Dragons, goes to Maxted. Maxted couldn't quite mark it. Zimmerman front and centre for the Bloods. Straight up the chimney, goes 100 metres. And I'm tending to exaggerate just a fraction. Now off half-back, winged by the Dragons, sends it long, bouncing, tumbling ball towards the boundary line, and that ball went a long way and underneath the scoreboard to the city end. We'll have a ball in, and it is the Dragons leading by 17.
And Kobe Maxted to kick that last goal as well.
Kobe. One rotation down at the start of the third isn't too bad when you have four in the pine. Sometimes actually allows the other players to get into the game a little bit more, but one more from this point then would start to definitely impact.
South Bendigo will clear the ball out of defence here. They'll look to go up towards Lockwood, who presents and takes a strong grab. It's just on the pull side wing here at the QEO. Lockwood's short pass was good. Finds drop mark though from Swatton. He'll be disappointed with that. Sandhurst will force the turnover and we'll have a ball up. Very disappointed not to hold on to that one. It was an uncontested mark there. Very disappointed with himself as well. In fact, been James Davies, I should say, for South Bendigo. Very dark, gloomy conditions here.
I watched Davies his couple seasons out at White Hills and really liked what I'd seen out there, and I'm glad he's taking a step up to the next level of football.
So throw up. Chris won the knockdown for South Bendigo in the Swatton direction. He takes possession. Fires the handball over the top. Tarju will force the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. 65 out from goal.
And he's bringing a bit of the country to the city, because in the first quarter, every time a Sandhurst player went past him, he went out of his way to engage and put a bump on.
I thought you were about to say something else there, Metro.
Ball is thrown in, socket off the ground by, might have been Connick of the Dragons, and it's going to be a free kick for, in fact it was Smetzer that socketed the ball, but a good old-fashioned in danger. You don't see them very often, as it's now with the Bloods receiving a handball would be Tom Brereton, coughed it up. Now it's at 50 still. They're still in the contest. Haddo, he's brought to ground by the Dragons. Good work, Connick. Dishes it out a handball to Smetzer. Off half-back. Dragons half-forward. Poor kick. Intercepting mark. Bloods and the footies with Geddes.
The Geddes then sends it wide. They go down the pull side wing, the Bloods. High ball from Callum Crisp. Lockwood's going to be the target at the other end. He flies and he almost pulled down the mark, but in fact it was stolen. A terrific grab there from James Davies. Looked like Lockwood had his name written all over it, and Davies came in and pinched it from him. Won't mind. Davies is short past Zimmerman, barely 15 metres. Umpire tells him to play on. He accelerates away, feeds the handball. In fact, he got it back on the old one too. Goes goalwards. Wouldn't have that been some sort of goal from Anthony Zimmerman?
Would have been goal of the day.
He's kicked 2 behinds on the day now. 1-5-11 the Bloods. They're just wasting their opportunities. Sandhurst 4-3-27. Sandhurst are wasting the ball when they're going inside forward 50 Metro. That's how it feels at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Sandhurst goals were a bit like that. It was a short kick that wasn't paid as a mark, but it forced them to play on, and I think that's the way to score into this, Breeze.
Right.
Haphazard.
Short pass, Dragons to Keating. Keating deep in his in the back pocket, his defensive back pocket. In front of the ghost of the social room for South Bendigo that no longer exists. Kicks it to the wing. Maxted at the rear of the pack. Couldn't quite get it. He's out of the contest now, but the Dragons aren't. Nice little handball over the top. It was to nobody. It came from Morris. Offering support for the Dragons was Collins over the boundary line. In front of us, broadcast side, commentary box, ball in. Right on half forward. In front of the Dragons coaching panel. Cool conditions here. QEO, 27 playing 11. Dragons lead. Smetzer wins it to the back of the pack. Wins it, then goes around the body to the hot spot, and a mark's been taken defensively by the Buds. Handball to Hare. Hare smack bang into the middle of the QEO.
And that he does. It's into the middle. It finds its way to James Davies, having a busy couple of moments as Davies wheels it inside forward 50 for the Bloods. It bounces out the back. Not taken. Ireland was cool, calm and collected. Short pass was good. Now they can run it out of defence, the Dragons. They'll chip it up the pull side wing into the hands of
Keating.
Jack Keating, I should say, who sends it inside forward 50. It carries over the back. It'll be a flying shot out of there for the Dragons, and it'll be a simple goal to be put through. And it was as easy as you like, and it's Matt Wilkinson that gets the finish. So he's got his first goal of the afternoon, and that's his 19th goal of the season. Matt Wilkinson as a ringer. That is a terrific return. Score sponsor Parsons Towing on Live 25 local fresh footy.
Having a ripping year, and even started this game brilliantly, and that was nice work. So kicking that from the midfield there, he wanders back into the middle, but he works hard both ways. That was length in kicking, so using the breeze well, lengthened the kick, and it got over the pack. So as a defender, if you're going to defend anywhere, you've got to be at the back when they're kicking with the breeze.
Important game in the MCDFNL. Quarter time, Natty Bialaba 3-2-20, trail Trentham 5-5-35. With the strong wind favouring Trentham on this occasion, as Sandhurst will bring it back inside forward 50. Hood is at 45, feeds it over the top. He gave it to Austin, who's been good. Poor kick, still 30 metres out from the Dragons' goal to the City end, and I reckon we'll have a stoppage. We do, and we'll do it all again.
Quarter time score as well in the MCDFNL. Denali 2-1-13 leading Carisbrook 1-2-8. So that's a terrific start for the Eagles. Back here at the QEO. Haddo emerges with it for South Bendigo. We'll send it down the poolside wing. No mark taken. Coming in the direction of Swatton. Goes backwards to the Dragons. They'll send it inside forward 50. And Matt Wilkinson found separation and space. Led into it, and the kick was absolutely magnificent to hit him. Might have been Will Brom, I reckon, that sent the kick inside forward 50.
Not trying to influence you, Milko, but Wilkinson's been pretty good, hasn't he?
I know he go. Yeah, when he
he's already won it this year too.
I was involved in the selection for Interleague, and most people know my heart past or my history was with Sandhurst. And I knew he'd been going okay, but I didn't put his name forward. It was actually the coach in Simon Rosa really wanted to get him involved as a younger player that's a Bendigo League player throughout the junior systems here.
As you're saying that, Metro, he goes back and kicks the goal from 45 metres out, so he's kicked 2 in a row.
In a minute. Goal 2 in a minute. I was really happy for him to get his opportunity, and if everyone was fit, he's probably going to miss out, but I think even just the recognition of being added to that training squad would do his confidence a great deal.
6-3-39 playing South Bendigo, 1-5-11. Danger signs if you're a South Bendigo supporter. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals.
Yeah, Class is just dominating here at the moment through Sandhurst. Smetzer wins it for the Dragons down the middle. He banged it on the boot to forward 50. Overrunning a footy there. Should have done better, the coach, Fallon. I didn't like that, Mitro. The intensity wasn't there at the footy, was it?
No, and we've got a free kick here with a bit going on. It's going to South Bendigo after a bit of rough and tumble.
It looked like Ollie Morris might have let him know exactly what you were saying then, Johnny. So
I don't know if he's injured, but
that's away one, Jack Fallon.
That is very unlike Jack Fallon.
Well, he gets away with it because he receives the free kick after Ollie Morris just let him know about it as well. Down the line, the kick goes to Chris. Couldn't find it. Burton tries to pick it up for South Bendigo. Handball out of there. Brom picked it up for the Dragons. He then spins himself backwards. Handball was good to young Austin. Austin had to go the 1-2, but he was very clever to get it back and then send the kick into the middle of the ground in the Hood direction. It bounces over his head, but Hood keeps it paddling forward for Sandhurst. 60 out from goal, but it'll be Haddo back there for South Bendigo. Hare's got it. Short pass to Collins, who takes the mark deep in his defence. Collins will then, he's thought about going central. He's got Brock Harvey out on this closer side wing, but he doesn't back himself to get there. Or maybe he didn't see him, I'm not sure. Down the line he goes. No mark taken, spills to ground. Collins picked it off for Sandhurst. 2 Collinses out there. Brom's got it, 1 from each side. Brom's kick was good. Hood's got it, 70 from goal. Short pass will be right, finds its teammate. Looking to find an option inside forward 50 are the Dragons. Inside they go. Campbell in a one-on-one is going to get a free kick for being held at the top of the goal square. Advantage will be paid, and they'll run into an open goal. Nick Stagg slots the goal.
Yeah, they're remonstrating, but I actually thought that before the whistle went, that there was a bit going on. Got the front position, working hard, then the defender probably felt obligated. He needed to do something out of fear and did that. But once again, look, South had it on the back flank there. They've gone long down the line. Sandhurst are probably the best defensively set up team in the competition. Blokes sitting behind the ball. If they're going to, even though the breeze is not favouring, if they're going to continue just to bomb it down there, there's no way they're bridging the 6-goal gap. I would have loved them to see bite one off through the middle, even if it didn't work, because it's ended up the same result anyway. Or switch the defence like they did in the first time and just focus on hitting the target when they get forward to centre.
Sandhurst 7-3-45, South Bendigo 1-5-11.
Score sponsors Bendigo City Framers, Live 25 local fresh footy. That's Navarre 4-1-25. They lead Newstead 2-2-14 in the MCDFNL. And it's now Sandhurst again. Off half-back. Coughlin to the wing. To Smith. Cooper Smith. Handball forward. Liking the game of Austin. Received and ran. Short pass Stagg. Stagg feigned a handball to Morris. Then he decided to kick it to Tardru, who's been quiet this afternoon. Spills to the back of the pack. Collins of the Bloods will spread it wide.
And he does. He sends it out in the direction of Alexander Smith, who's forced to go backwards. Picked up and handball by Sims for South Bendigo. Into the middle they go. Not able to really take any clean possession though.
See if Norm's got his forward 50 stats going again this quarter. I'd say the vibe has been dominated by Sandhurst at the moment.
All Sandhurst at the moment, as you mentioned. Sims goes through for South Bendigo. Mark not paid as the kick didn't go the 15 metres required. Staggs in there for the Dragons, lost out. Zimmerman emerges with the footy. Just got the boot to ball, sends it inside forward 50 to a one-on-one for Antonowitz, who got to the front and plucked an absolute beauty. He was probably caught in the worst position you could be as a forward there, but he managed to get himself forward. There was almost one-handed in the end there, Metro.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Zimmerman run and carried the ball for 10 metres, looked up and seen a one-on-one and kicked it to... You got some quality plays down there for South. If they're isolated one-on-one, just kick the ball to their side of the contest and let them do the rest. So he just has to finish it off with a goal now.
In the MCDFNL, Lexton 117, leading Harcourt 6-2-38. As Antonowitz comes in and puts it across the face for a minor score. So he's got 1 goal, 1. South have got 1 goal, 6. They're 12. Sandhurst 45. 15 minutes gone in the second quarter. Score sponsor is Don is good.
Lockie Wright plays on from fullback, Barnard Street end to the broadcast side. They'll set themselves. Smetzer was the target, but intercepting there was Maxted of the Dragons. 2 Dragons were there, and it was Maxted that marked it. 50-metre ball to half forward. He did not look then. Turnover. So Sandhurst have done it on that occasion.
Poor kick.
Rusbridge goes into the corridor dangerously, but safe to Sims in the end. From one half-back flank to the other. Now corridor again. They're living dangerously here, Bloods. Defensive arc. Here. Zimmerman into the middle. Now they'll go. Zimmerman, short pass. It was poor. Mills overran it for the Dragons. They've got numbers. Bloods. Smith picked it up. Gave it to Zimmerman. Had a bounce. Goes shallow inside forward, wide inside forward 50 and hit Miller on the chest for a good chest mark.
They may have marked risky there. They took the game on, went through the centre. It wasn't perfect. They still managed to weigh, and now they've got another scoring opportunity.
Miller, pretty tight angle. Distance won't be a problem. Barnard Street end and kicks a goal for the Bloods. They needed it. 2-6-18 to 7-3-45. 17 minutes gone. Second term. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals. Live 25. Local fresh footy.
Lot better play. Really positive play from South Bendigo then. Zimmerman starting to get them up and going, I think, through the middle of the ground. Today's to pull off those the risky kicks, but I think he's got it in his bag of tricks, so I hope he continues to do that now for him.
So back in the middle we go. Lockwood won the tap down, but the umpire out of play has called a free kick for a hold. That's probably 3 times, I reckon, that umpire on the square this side's called that one there. So it was a hold to South Bendigo. Free kick with Haddo. He'll quickly play on and send it inside forward 50. Miller came out again, couldn't quite take the mark. Spills to the ground in front of him. Harvey's got it for South Bendigo. He's tackled straight away. Some appeals for in the back not given. And we'll have it balled up on the paint of 50.
A bit of momentum the last 5 minutes for South Bendigo.
It does feel like South are starting to get themselves back into this game now. Lockwood knocked it down. Smith couldn't control it for Sandhurst. Haddo in there, so too Zimmerman. Zimmerman clearly taken without the foot. He's going to receive the free kick. So he'll look to quickly go.
That's lucky not to be 50. He didn't get the ball back correctly then. That was lucky not to be 50.
Probably could have been, you're right. I didn't quite see it. I was looking at what was going on off the ball there. So Zimmerman from 55 metres out, right in front of the bench. He sends it in the direction of Strubens, who takes the grab. Terrific grab. Class player, Strubens. And the South Bendigo forwards are starting to show some class in these last few moments. We've seen grabs to Antonowitz, Harvey, and now Strubens.
Poor defending there.
So Strubens will spin around on the right, and 2 goals in a row to South Bendigo. He's got his first, and the Bloods have got 3, and they're slowly on their way back into this game now. 2 in a row, South Bendigo. Momentum has definitely changed. Wayne Mitrovic, score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, Local Fresh Footy. 7-3-45, playing 3-6-24.
Sandhurst had spare defenders in a defensive 50, which most teams do. You end up with a couple extras in there in a slow play situation, and somehow managed to leave a one-on-one with Strubens and they couldn't get the extra to come across and spoil that. That was really poor defending.
Camp Reserve Gisborne 27 points over Castlemaine. Camp Reserve. Lockwood over the top for the Bloods, but tapped it straight down the throat of Smith for the Dragons. They'll go inside forward 50 now. Swatton did well. A little bit of a dance over the top. Found Darling. Darling gave it to Nitschke. Get it back now. Down the wing to Lockwood. Front of the pack. Smith rose for the Dragons. Smetzer tracks it, as does Smith. Smith will give it to Sims. Back over the top. They're running. Receiving was Brereton. Brereton inside forward 50. Hits Antonowicz. Too far out to score. He spins around and hits Strubens. So, two big names getting involved with the footy now for the Bloods, and a big chance to put another one on the board, Mitro.
Oh, look, it's funny, isn't it? The scoring seems to be happening at the non-scoring end, so we might have to change our line of thinking.
We might.
But lowering the eyes, running in numbers, sharing by hand. We've seen that's how it happened in the first quarter, and they're managing to get on top here at the moment.
Stephen Strubens directly in front. The man on the mark stands at 38 metres, and Strubens kicks a goal. For the Bloods, here they come. Their fourth of the afternoon, 4-6-30. They trail 7-3-45. Score sponsor, Don Smallgoods. Is Don, is good. Live 25, local fresh footy.
Yeah, great to see him. It skipped out to 6 goals there. To fight back, now it's 10 scoring shots apiece. Just with Sandhurst being a little bit more accurate with their opportunities. So definitely well and truly in this game of footy right now. We've got probably 5 minutes coming up here. Really important 5 minutes.
Of course, Sandhurst down to 3 on the bench as well, with young Howard on debut going down what looks like a hamstring injury. Smetzer wins the ball forward for Sandhurst. Knocked away for the Bloods, though, trying to clear one out. Robinson emerged with the footy. Handball over the top to Hood. Hood got into some space, but he couldn't quite take clean possession of the footy. Bloods turn it over. Haddo goes backwards. Fallon was pounced upon straight away. Sent it back in the direction wherever it came. Bouncing through. They found a way through South Bendigo. They're playing inspired footy at the moment. Nitschke, Zimmerman, into the middle they go. Sims has got space. He gets it. He can run and go. Handball to Lockwood. Lockwood from 50. Steps around his man. Goes to Strubens. And Strubens will either be paid the mark or collected high. And South Bendigo are charging here at the QER all of a sudden. Momentum has changed, and the Bloods, the way they're moving the ball off half back is excellent to watch, using the corridor. Terrific play, and it might be 3 goals in a row for Strubens. Pretty much identically where he kicked the last one from, Johnny. So if we're going with that, he should kick this one as well. 38 metres away is the man on the mark, as you called before, directly in front. For 3 in a row for Strubens and 4 in a row for the Bloods. Yeah. And to bring it back to a 9-point ball game.
Yeah, Liam sort of playing that zoning off defensive role. He might want to stand a little bit closer to him.
Strubens is a class player, and he does not miss. A good crowd in for South Bendigo this afternoon. They all run down to get around him. And boy, oh boy, 10 minutes ago, if you had said it's a 9-point ball game, you wouldn't have thought that, Johnny Hunter. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals, Live 25, local fresh footy.
All right, South, not long ago, it was 9 forward 50 entries Sandhurst to South 4. Now it's up to 10 apiece. So that's a reflection of the momentum shift here. I wouldn't be surprised if South put a spare player or roll a wingman back behind the ball with this last few minutes.
Interesting. Lockie Tardrew, I reckon we've called him once or twice this afternoon. It's the first time I've called him in a quiet game. But it's back in the middle. It's all about the Bloods at the moment. But Smetzer does win it for the Dragons, and he puts it in the path of a charging Hood, who takes a chest mark, 49 from goal.
Interesting to see Kerno in front of us is just insisting that they slow things down.
I think he might back him in here and say, you've got this.
Well, he's got the win.
Tricky is the forward here. Do you lead? But then if they had the shot, or your tools aren't on the line. I
reckon with that 3 or 4 goal breeze, you just got to go. You've got to back yourself, don't you?
Yep.
Let's see what he does. Hood, beyond 50. It won't be a goal. It fades. Didn't quite make the distance anyway, and it comes off hands for a minus
Probably
4.
Could have marked it there, South.
They could have. 47 playing 36, 24-minute mark, second term.
Oh, no.
Well, the kick in was poor, and Fergus Green sharks it, and he kicks the goal. I was marking down that last behind. I didn't even see the kick in.
The listeners would have heard me give the no.
Run us through that one. What happened there, Metro?
The fullback went to kick out. He went for the short 20-metre pass, miscued, and the bloke Fergus Green standing the mark at the top of the square. He's kicked it straight to him. He's turned around and kicked the goal. So that's sort of... It's only a mental thing, isn't it? But it does kill the momentum to lose a goal in that manner. We've got probably... There's still could be 2 or 3 minutes left in this quarter. I'd like to see South consolidate. Either get one back or just kill the game now and reset it.
4 goals to Fergus Green as well. 52 playing 36.
Score sponsor Bendigo City Frame is live. 25 local fresh footy as the ball was back in the middle. And contest at ground level. It moves its way to halfway between the centre and half forward for the Bloods. It'll be a stoppage. Barnard Street end. Bloods now in attack again. The kick was, the goal was against the flow, but here's Haddo. Haddo go inside forward 50. Island though, track the footy for the Dragons, put it towards the boundary line, and it come off his knees, and it wasn't out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a ball in 49 metres from home from the goal that the Bloods are attacking.
Not sure how hard he was trying to keep that ball in play.
Of course he wasn't.
Golden Square starting to get away from Kangaroo Flat as well. 8-9-57 to Kangaroo Flat 2-2-14. Collins overran the footy here at the QEO. Ball goes to the bottom of the pack. We'll have another ball up. Eagle Hawk 5-5-35. Stratford say 1-3-9. Of course, Ben Thompson playing game 100 for Eagle Hawk this afternoon. Has been a terrific player for them. Multiple time winner of our Bendigo City Framers Best on Ground sponsored award as well. Collins emerges with the footy. Was dealt with after he kicked it, and he's going to get a free kick for down the field.
It's extremely harsh call. It was as he kicked, and the contact was in the side. Even though it was a pushing motion, you're allowed to push your play off the ball. I thought that was pretty harsh there, but what it does is give South Bendigo an opportunity here to get that goal they leaked back.
So it'll be Jesse Collins, 40 metres out, directly in front from goal. Can go back to bring it to 10 points the difference here. Collins comes in and he starts it left. It stays left. Minor score. That's a disappointing miss. 52 plays 37 in favour of the Dragons as we approach half-time here at the QEO.
Right for the Dragons. Barnard Street in, will kick it in. He'll look to come grandstand, broadcast side. It's a long ball. Tardrew, who's been quiet this afternoon, takes a mark in front of his eyes. Cross halfback, 10 metres in from the boundary line. Short pass, 15 metres forward to Wilkinson, who's quieting down in this second term. Started off like a house on fire for the Dragons.
Did kick 2 in a minute.
Yes, he did. He's still a candidate for the Bendigo City Framers Sponsors Award, not with a kick like that.
Can you stop mentioning
I'm not going to say that anymore.
That's 3 times now you've said the name and they've just absolutely muffed up that kick.
Kicked it out of bounds on the full. Free kick, Van Human of the Bloods right in front of us, broadcast side, half back.
And then he gave one before, the player kicked it into the man on the mark and then got done holding the ball in the same passage of play. So all happening here at the QEO, Johnny Hunter. Down the line they go. Lockwood couldn't quite take the mark. Swatton able to fend off the handball, went looking for the handball to Zach Sims, didn't find him. Throw in. Grandstand side at the QEO. Wouldn't the Bloods love one more just before half time here to get them back under 10 points? It's 15 points the difference at the moment. Throw in. Chris was at the front, knocked it down. Swatton emerged with the footy. Will send a kick that just skew whiffs off the side of the boot inside forward 50. Lockwood comes charging out at it. He's in pursuit of him as Collins. He's able to step around though, Lockwood, and then Collins tackles him as soon as he grabbed possession, and we'll have a ball up in front of the South Bendigo change rooms, I should say. Players race over there, which is 50 out from goal.
Not long to go here, 28-minute and 25-second mark.
Must have read my mind there, Mitro. I was just thinking that wouldn't they love one now? The Bloods are at 49 metres out, deep in the pocket. We won't get a clearance here as Matty Wilkinson grabbed it for the Dragons and got tackled, got brought to ground.
That's a famous red Sandhurst sign, green on the other side. The red side's showing out to the ground.
Marginally deeper into attack now, 38 metres from home. Bloods in attack. Up they'll go. Collins doing the ruck work for the Dragons. Tapped it to a teammate who banged it on the boot to the outer side. Good, strong, contested mark. It was Austin. He will slow it down. It'll be a long ball on the left foot down the outer side wing. They'll set themselves. Front of the pack is Tarfree. He spins and comes inboard. It's aggressive, but Brock Harvey picked it up. And talking about players that have been quiet, Nitro, as it's a stoppage, I haven't called him very often either, Brock Harvey.
No, definitely. He's one we earmarked at the start of the game, but we've still got a half to go. Plenty of time to get into it.
Throw up. Chris won it down. Wilkinson handball was good over his head, behind his back. Still found Tarju, who sends it inside forward 50. Wasted possession there, which is not something you call very often from Lockie Tarju. Alex Davies takes the mark for the Bloods. He'll chip the short pass backwards. Now they'll clear it out. That's a really ordinary kick to Rusbridge, but Rusbridge can make it work. We'll go back to where it came. They've really made a meal of that one, South Bendigo, coming out of defence, and we'll have a ball up inside forward 50. And it really should have been an uncontested mark for Rusbridge, and he should have been able to run it out. It might have been Van Human, was it, that had the kick.
Would have been an absolute disaster in the dying seconds after all their hard work in the last 10 minutes.
The other goal that they've kicked in this quarter come directly from a stake. Campbell then takes the ball out of the ruck, snaps it goalwards. Fergus Green paddles it to himself, and he was taken over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Fitzy, the water boy, wasn't happy with that decision.
That it went out of bounds.
Yes.
He had a bit to say.
He's not giving him a drink.
No, as the ball is thrown in. Jeez, it's thrown into the hot spot. Crisp grabs it defensively for the Bloods. Put it on the boot, on the left. Brock Harvey got met heavily. Now emerging with a footy was the Dragon through Coughlin. Coughlin didn't really look either, and it slewed wide off the inside of the boot, and underneath the scoreboard goes out of bounds, and we'll have a ball in.
He's a hard man to please, Nicky.
South have pushed all their players up in the defensive half. In these dying few seconds, just trying to kill any chance Sandhurst have of getting a goal.
Throw in, knocked away by Crisp in the direction of Fallon, who's being quiet, but it's taken by Wilkinson for Sandhurst. Spun himself into trouble, then got caught. He'll be pinned for holding the ball.
Great tackle there from Haddo.
Long quarter. 31 minutes have ticked over, Cameron.
It's been a long quarter. Short pass was good.
Will he go short again?
Geddes. So Geddes will then clear the kick out of defence for South Bendigo in the direction of Collins, who come in from the side and took a terrific grab. Playing behind. So it's half-time here at the QEO. Sandhurst 8-4-52. South Bendigo 5-7-37. But they challenged them late in that quarter. It was out to nearly 40 points at one stage there, but it's back to thanks to Paul Wicks.
So we're just about to get underway here in this second half. It is Sandhurst 8-4-52. They lead South Bendigo 5-7-37. Live 25 local fresh footy at the home of country football here at the QEO. It's round 12. Let's get things underway. Here's Cam Power.
Yeah, Ron's waiting for the umpire to throw the ball up in the air as he's at his final. And we will ball up South Bendigo with a massive third quarter to come. Crisp wins the first hit down straight to ground, where they all pounce on it for a repeat ball up. A little bit anticlimactic when that happens straight out of the middle, Metrovic.
I did notice at half-time, umpire Goodridge packed his bag and jumped up and was running off out the gate halfway through the game. So something's happened somewhere.
That might be interesting to keep an eye on. So we've only got the two umpires out there for the remainder of the half, is what you're saying. Zimmerman turns the ball over. Missed the handball to Haddo. He couldn't quite take it for South Bendigo. Fallon was there, couldn't take it either. Eventually the Dragons will work it forward through young Jack Keating. Keating goes to Stagg, who I thought maybe not sure what he was doing there, might have been going the wrong way. Then he thought about giving the handball to Keating, did a big U-turn and wheeled inside forward 50 and put a kick onto the pass of Fergus Green. Fergus Green plays on, short pass, Maxted leads out, kick over his head, didn't quite take it. Would have liked to have seen Fergus go back and take the set shot there. South will clear it out of defence, and the mark will be taken by Jesse Collins across half-back.
Collins feigns, then goes one way, then the other, and then he kicks it on the inside of the instep. It was a poor kick. It was meant for Harvey. Harvey was the only man in the area, but he had to see it over the boundary line. We've got a ball in out of side.
Yeah, a couple decisions there from both sides. Probably would have done something different if they had their time again.
Umpire will throw it in. Smetzer doing the ruck work against Crisp of the Bloods, Smetzer of the Dragons. Crisp a little taller, front position, double-handed tap to the front of the pack. No clear winner, soccer off the ground. It came from Smith of the Dragons, and he kicked it straight over the boundary line on his defensive arc, and it'll be a free kick to the Bloods going to Van Human.
Was it out of bounds on the floor, or did they pay one of my pet peeves in Bendigo footy, that rule?
Oh, no, I think it was... No. Out the floor.
Was out on the fuel. So Van Humen will bring the ball back into play for South Bendigo. Will wheel the kick down the line. Needs a fly from Lockwood, didn't get it. Still to the back of the pack. A very contested, scrappy game, this one.
Rain hasn't come, Metro, like I predicted, but still... Yeah, well, still coming. Well, that's what the bomb said, the map. But it just felt like rain out there, but it's gloomy, that's for sure, Cameron.
I think the wind has dropped as well.
Yeah, that might have an influence as well.
Cooper Smith tried to paddle it forward, overran the footy. Haddo's handball was sharked. Woods in there for Sandhurst.
But the scoring end's been against it mainly for this game, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have another ball up, centre wing. Pull side. Taken by Tarju. Tarju just missed his handball to Smith. Collins went through for Sanders. So too did Connick. He's in there. He dived on top of it, as did Jesse Collins, and they circle. Umpires this afternoon, Scott Bennett and Marcus Osborne. And the missing one umpire. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Dean Goodrich was there for the first half, but he's no longer here. He's exited the building. Sandhurst will work it forward. Harvey couldn't take it. Zimmerman's been good. He found space. Sent it inside forward 50, and Isaiah Miller marks underneath the scoreboard. Right on the boundary. And he can go back here. He missed one from directly in front in the first quarter, but he kicked one up the other end from a similar position, but at the opposite end of the ground. But he's on the boundary, underneath the scoreboard. He steps in, opens up the angle, and just misses. One goal, 2 for Isaiah Miller. 52 playing 38. 3.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Score sponsor, Jason Westcott Builder.
Good play there, though. Nice build-up from South Bendigo and just missed the opportunity. Was a fair kick, though. He's on the boundary line, big angle.
Miller's playing a different role, I think, there up forward. He's playing more of a Brock Harvey role.
Traditionally a wingman, but Harvey has been playing up the ground this year a lot more than usual, so maybe they're just swapping it around a little.
Wright kicked it in from full-back, and he kicked it beyond 50 after playing onto the broadcast side. Keating sees it over for the Dragons, and we'll have a ball in.
Definitely, yeah, Harvey's at the back of this stoppage in the centre, and Miller in the forward 50.
Let the Cobblers cobble, I say, Metro, as the ball's won by Haddo of the Bloods, inside forward 50. Miller had his hands on the footy and tapped it to the feet. And we're all tied up. Defensive play by the Dragons. Very good ball in. Ball
inside
up.
The four walls, you don't know what the discussions are and stuff, but you think you just leave people to their strengths.
Yeah, well, particularly him.
Lockwood won it down. Miller managed to just fire out a handball. Wow, the kick was smothered there from Austin. Kicked it straight into his own teammate there in Seb Collins, I reckon it was. And it bounces back. South Bendigo player grabbed possession of the footy, then was taken in the tackle, and it will result in a free kick to Sandhurst. So it will be in the hands of Finley Lockhart, who swings the kick across the ground and finds its way into the hands of Lockie Wright. Wright's going to come back into the goal square for Coughlin. Coughlin will then look to go a little bit longer than it's intended. Well, it actually will hold up in the breeze okay for Smetzer, but it was dangerous because it hits the ground. There's more South Bendigo players at ground level. Mills come across to force the contest, and he had to because otherwise South were away then inside forward 50. Rather dangerous kick to put it up in the air in this kind of breezeway, Mitchell.
Hang a little bit high. I see what he's trying to do, though. He just identified where the space was in the mismatch and tried to put it there. So I reckon the idea was right.
Lockwood won it down, tapped it further forward, taken away by the Bloods. It's in the hands of Davies. Ball spilt out. Cooper Smith emerges with it. Will clear the kick out of there nicely. Goes looking for the direction of Austin. Austin couldn't quite control it. Got a little bit of an awkward bounce. Van Humen sent it inside forward 50, and Isaiah Miller marks again. Well, maybe the play to play him forward might be the case because he's having a great day in the forward line. It'd have to be his 4th or 5th mark inside forward 50.
Absolute bullet, that kick. Didn't get more than 2 metres off the ground and travelled nearly 50.
So it's marked by Isaiah Miller, who's kicked 1 goal, 2 on the day.
On a platter. You would have liked that back in the day, Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
He'll kick it from 30 metres out. 10 in from the boundary. Left-hand forward pocket. In he comes on the right. Goes goalwards, and he puts it through. The first goal of the final of the third quarter, I should say. Not the final quarter. Jumped the gun a little bit there. South Bendigo get it. And it is game on at the QEO. The Bloods are making a charge at the moment. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposal, 1.5, 8.52. playing South Bendigo 6-8-44.
Definitely, that was great there. Just closing that gap again, and it looks like they've picked up where they've left off with that momentum. So we see Ferg have that shot at the start of the quarter, opts not to have the shot, and goes for the pass, and we have a guy at the other end similar distance. Holmes went back and shoots it through, and I see Ferg's on the bench in his rotation now, so I'm sure he wants to get back out there to do something about it.
I like what the blood are cooking here now. They're just inching their way back into the game, and all of a sudden it's really close. Zimmerman on the end of a handball, tried to use the front arm to swung his hands back. Umpire wouldn't have a bar of it. Connick sockers it out of the air for the Dragons, sends it out a side wing. They've got the numbers. Cooper Smith on the end of a handball and sends it forward for the Dragons. His target there was Campbell, who's also been pretty quiet. Socket it into the pocket to Maxted. Maxted tried to keep it in up against the point post and can't to the Barnard Street end, and will have a ball in right at the teeth of goal for the Dragons.
Right, forward 50 here for the Dragons. Let's see if they can make something happen.
Can they produce a goal here, Sandhurst, at the Barnard Street end of the ground? Maxted's in the ruck. He shoved his opponent out of the ruck, took it out there, went goalwards, did Kobe Maxted, and he put it through for a minor score. Good use of the body. Been a good battle between him and Alex Davies this afternoon.
We're seeing that a lot more now with the allowed to grab it out of the ruck again.
It's one rule I would go back to how it used to be. If you grab it out of the ruck and you don't dispose of it cleanly, it should automatically be holding the ball, but it doesn't seem to be that way anymore. Fallon will bring the ball back in for South.
Fallon kicks in from fullback to halfback. The ball spills. Numbers with the Bloods. Over the top to Lockwood. Couldn't quite win it. Still in dispute. Zimmerman decides he wants it most. Picks it up. And then he's strong through the hips. And, well, it was red hot, but he tried to do a lot and he was held on for a long time. So I haven't got a problem with it.
I'm not sure that was the play. There's an injured Sandhurst player here as well who's holding the arm by the looks. Is it Caleb Connick in front of him?
Lockhart as the ball is now kicked by Austin of Dragons. Shallow inside forward 50. And umpire, we've blown a whistle. The free kick is with the Bloods. Defensive arc of 50, Barnard straight in. Simple as that.
Hectic 30 seconds.
Keep an eye on that one, Metro, because they're already down one on the bench, and he looks like he's in some severe discomfort down there, does young Lockhart.
Van Human defensively from one back pocket to the other to Hare. Hare, Russ Bridges under pressure as he gave him the handball. The old 1-2. Back to Hare. Hare beyond 50 now. Bouncing footy. Mills did well for the Dragons. He wins it. Sends it back whence it came. Hard up against the boundary line. Haddo, very good. Punch for the Bloods. 20 from home. He's defending and will have a ball in.
Yeah, the trainer's with Lockhart now. He's actually was grabbing it right on the point of his elbow. So I'm not sure what you can do with that.
Funny bone?
He's not laughing.
Oh, no.
So Sandhurst trying to get possession of the footy out of the ruck. It spills to the back. No clear winner in that one. Have a repeat ball up. There's Caleb Connick down there that had possession. Maxted took it out of the ruck. Handball to Wilkinson. Wilkinson can go goalward straight out of the stoppage. It's going to be tapped right over the boundary line. That would have been some goal. Maxted's having his way in the ruck inside forward 50 at the moment.
Even though the Dragons have the lead, you just feel like from these forward thrusts, while the opportunity's there, they need one.
10-point lead to Sandhurst. 10 minutes played in the third quarter. Here's the voice of John Hunter.
Fallon at the top of his defensive square will play on from fullback and he'll send it to the swimming pool side on the left. He's been quiet this afternoon. It goes, in fact, into the middle. It's a long ball at the back of the pack. Smith tried to get his hands on it and couldn't for the Bloods. Pack forms. They try to make away. Smith used his body as well and was pinged. He had the footy and tried just a little bit too much, Mitro.
Yeah,
that was a free kick.
He don't argue the first player, which was fine. He got out of that, but the secondary one come in, and once you don't argue and you get grabbed again, it's all over.
So right in the middle of the ground, Stagg has it for the Dragons. Short pass over the top of the umpire's head. Mark taken by Mills. Umpire had to duck, otherwise he might have marked it himself. So Mills has got it. 65 out from goal. Told to play on. Just gets the kick away from Strubens, but it was a poor kick. It's turned over, and it's taken here by James Davies, who's really came into the ground for South Bendigo. Sends a 70-metre pass down in the Antonowitz direction. Just knocked it away from Coughlin at the last minute. Ireland picked it up, then he handballed to Coughlin. Coughlin will give the handball off to the short one. That's with Will Brome. Brome then sends it up towards centre half forward. Fallon comes in, knocked the ball to ground, picked off nicely by Van Humen. He sends it out to Sims. Now the Bloods can cobble on the far wing. Sims will go backwards to where it came, and they'll try and reset themselves in the hands of Darling.
Darling over the top by hand, finds a teammate. It was good. He's working hard. Is Sims. Sims to the outer side, but unfortunately the boundary line beckons. They'll have a ball in.
Doesn't lose very often, the boundary line, does it?
No. 10-point margin. Dragons, they've got hold of this one at the moment, but not by much. Bloods have been coming for the last quarter and a half now. As we'll have another stoppage here as the ball was thrown in. A lot of players over the footy.
Just having a look around though, Johnny. It's a pretty good crowd in this afternoon.
Yeah, it is. Not traditionally known for their big crowds during the season, I would imagine, both South Bendigo and the Dragons. There's a decent crowd in there this afternoon. Bloods, they'll kick it forward. Shallow inside, forward 50. Outer side, working hard was Collins for the Dragons at ground level, and underneath the scoreboard we'll have a ball in. 10-point margin, Dragons lead.
Yeah, back in the forward half now for South Bendigo. They've been looking actually quite dangerous when it's come in now from their forward 50 entry, so Sandhurst want to get sorted here.
So Smets are in the rack, but South Bendigo have got Alexander Smith going up inside, knocked to ground level. We'll have a ball up, 50 out from goal.
Well, our danger man Miller, and he's sitting at the top of the goal square at the moment.
Umpire update when you're ready, Cam.
He's got two players around him as South Bendigo emerge with it. They'll send it to the top of the square. Strubens used the body magnificently and took the mark at the top of the goal square. And, well, that'll frustrate. It was Liam Ireland, I reckon, in the one-on-one contest. Strubens marks it, 15 out directly in front, can go back to kick his fourth goal. And what have you got? You've got some sort of
umpire
story.
Snell at Golden Square pulled a hamstring midstream, and the delay was at Wade Street waiting for Dean Goodridge because they've got three umpires here.
So Strubens kicks the goal. That's extraordinary. So they just stopped the game until the extra umpire could get down there.
Well, they obviously only had one umpire there, I guess, or they might have had none, maybe. But thanks to Mike Lowther, who's there, obviously.
It's extraordinary.
We look at the way that the footy gets played. So we identified Miller as a danger man in that forward 50. So the spare for Sandhurst went to Miller and left Strubens in a one-on-one. And in that, he was just very strong in that contest and just pushed Ireland. I'd say that's why Ireland's zoning off. He wants to come in and hit the ball from a couple steps away, fly and hit it. And that time he got stuck, engaged in the one-on-one, and Strubens could just push him out of the way in the last second.
8-6-54, playing 7-8-50. It's only a 4-point margin, 14 minutes played in the third quarter. And who have you spotted in the crowd down there, Johnny?
Oh, celebrity watch. Mark Robinson in there with the Dragons there, having a Fanta or a Coca-Cola.
Hello, Robbo.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Frame, as we thank them. Live 25, local fresh footy as the ball goes inside. Forward, 50 again, and it's Strubens. He's actually, I wouldn't say he's white hot at the moment, but he is hot, Metro.
Well, he was the man that got on the end of all Zimmerman's work last quarter, and he's the one that causing the headaches right now. So, look, you don't be pig-headed. If the matchup isn't working, you change it. Do something about it, because you don't wait till you lose the lead to do something. So I'll be looking at that if I was part of the coaching fraternity at Sandhurst.
For the lead for the first time this afternoon. His fifth goal for South Bendigo. It is now a 2-point margin. Score sponsor, Don Smallgoods. Is good. Live 25, local fresh footy, and we've had a turnaround, Metro.
We have, and just as we talked about maybe personnel change, I see Maxted has rolled down to the back line, and he's in there. So how many does that give him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's entered the back 6. But it's not our man. So we've left Ireland still on Strubens, one out in the goal square.
For the first time today, South Bendigo have hit the front. So it's game on at the QEO. Norm Jenkins said he wanted them to have a 3 or 4 goal lead at 3/4 time, which is where he's going to feel comfortable.
Scores might have been level. Scores might have been level at 1 goal apiece, I reckon, at about the 4-minute mark, and that was it.
It's been a magnificent fight back from South Bendigo. It was nearly 40 points at one stage there to Sandhurst. So they really got away and it had ominous signs looking at it, but they've just fought exceptionally well. They've kept this man very quiet. Tarju was in the middle, kick out. Chris couldn't control it for the Bloods. Collins in there for South and Sandhurst will have a ball up.
We might check in with our stat man at 3/4 time, but one of the Sandhurst strengths is that uncontested marking in the back half, especially through Lockie Wright and Island. I would like to see where that sits.
Chris won it down. Wilkinson taken in the tackle strongly. We'll have a repeat ball up.
We could probably go to Norm Jenkin in a sec when he's ready to go. He doesn't need to talk. He's given us a 0 there, Mitro.
He has. So there's no intercept marks.
Tarju works it
which is
inside
one of their
forward
strengths.
50. Cooper Smith couldn't take it. South Bendigo will emerge with the ball out of defence. Turnover. Wilkinson. Smith went again. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Now the Bloods are away. Swatton sends the kick out nicely in the direction of big Josh Nitsky. He couldn't quite take it. Tarju fired out a handball. Magnificent. Found the runner there who sends it inside. Keating's kick didn't quite find a target. Knocked to ground level. South Bendigo will take after it. You can just hear the Sandhurst crowd in front of us getting a little bit emotional with what's happening here at the moment, Johnny.
It's
A
not
2-point lead to South
passionate
Bendigo.
enough.
No.
Between these two, they don't like each other. Stop playing nice. I
That's
reckon we
it.
need a little bit going on.
I was just about to say, Mitro, I feel like Sandhurst need to wake up. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
As the ball is thrown in, it's in their forward zone. They've got possession. Mills on the end of a handball. Here's their chance, Dragons. Spreads it wide to a teammate who just can't pick it up. Might have been Smets who comes inboard. A short kick outside 50. They retreat to Brom. Now he's away. He'll kick it into the hot spot. In fact, it goes wide. Off hands. Stagg tracks it towards the boundary line. Dragons keeps it in. Up and under kick. Poor kick. Contest forms. Collins of the Bloods did well. 49 from home. Dragons pleading for a free kick. They won't get one. Stoppage ball up.
Yeah, when you put in your destination in Google,
Yes.
how to get there, and you click on the fastest way. That was the longest way to goal I've ever seen.
South Bendigo will clear the ball out of there. But not very far. We'll have a ball up inside forward 50.
There might be a new on Sandhurst maps, the longest way home.
That's it. Well, they did everything not to go to the top of the square, didn't they?
Oh.
South Bendigo at their home, away from home. Formerly was their home. It's no longer their home. If that makes any sense, I'm not sure it does. South Bendigo will work it out of there. Mills picked it up for Sandhurst, though. He'll send it into the hot spot. Needs Campbell to come out. Couldn't take the mark. Knocked away from him, though, by Darling, who's been good back in defence for South Bendigo. They can wheel it out towards the boundary line. They'll happily take it over right in front of the players' race at the poolside change rooms, which is 50 out from goal at the Barnard Street end of the ground, which is the end that Sandhurst are attacking to this quarter. And they're trailing this game by 2 points, John Hunter.
Geez, what a game this is. This would be a big scalp. I know we're a long way from home, but the Bloods, they just feel like it at the moment. Sandhurst going nowhere, albeit they're in the forward zone on this occasion. Another stoppage. It's just got a feel about it, Mitro.
Oh, we've got a fair bit of water to go under the bridge, but I feel like South need it for their season and the early hype. This would actually put a bit of a recognition on, okay, we are good enough.
As the ball goes over the boundary line in an ugly passage of play on the outer side. But Dragons are still in attack to the Barnard Street end. 20 around from goal. Score updates from Golden Square. It's a relatively big margin out there. 85 playing 16. Storm trail Eagle Hawk, and Castlemaine trail Gisborne by a big margin as well down at Camp Reserve.
Yeah, we've certainly got the close one here today, don't we, Johnny?
We've got the match. It's a 2-point margin. It's the Bloods. Can they do it? Still a long way, as we've said, but they've been impressive. They'll win it now through Fallon, deep in the defensive zone. And Fallon, who's not been one of his better afternoons, has coughed it up and he's kicked it straight to Connick of the Dragons beyond 50.
Connick will wheel it back inside towards the hot spot, but it's intercept for South Bendigo. Mark taken back there for the Bloods. They're in defence. It's Callum Crisp that has the ball. Crisp will handball off to Burton, who started the first quarter magnificently. He's been a bit more quieter, but Burton's kick was excellent. Found its way into the middle of the ground to Brock Harvey, who's playing further up the ground. Harvey's kick just didn't quite find its mark in Collins. Sandhurst can pounce. They'll go backwards and work it into the hands of James Coughlin. Coughlin wheels the kick out wide to Wilkinson. Wilkinson will send it inside forward 50 for the fly of Tom Campbell. Couldn't quite get there. Spills out. Fallon for South Bendigo. Emerges with a footy, then just sends an ugly mongrel ball straight down the line.
He's not right this afternoon.
And Sandhurst looked to have pulled the trigger and put Toby Maxted behind the ball, I reckon, in this quarter. Maxted takes the mark, chips the short pass to a teammate who will come back inboard to Maxted. It come from Wright, or it was Connick, I should say, who goes inboard. Brom takes it in the centre of the QEO, wheels the kick out to a teammate, takes the mark. Charlie Robinson can hit Tom Campbell up on a hard lead, and that's exactly what he does. Strong above his head as well was Tom Campbell, and he'll line him up from goal. 45 out, slightly to the left of goal though, in the old South Bendigo poolside change room pockets.
Yes, that's it.
Sorry, social rooms, I should say. The old South Bendigo social rooms pocket. They don't exist. That's
the ball movement we want to see, isn't it? Coming through the middle. There was that one risky kick, but once they did it, it all opened up.
So Tom Campbell to put Sandhurst back in front in the third quarter. He hasn't kicked one this afternoon. On the right, doesn't look like missing. Bangs it through. Tom Campbell's got his first of the day. And with that, he's got 29 goals on the season. And Sandhurst put themselves back in front. 9-6-60 to South Bendigo, 8-8-56. Score sponsor, Aussie Disposals on Live 25, local fresh footy.
See, Dathan Uranda sitting down there. Now, he played in that game last week.
He did,
And he's been playing in the seniors, so I don't know if he's got a call up for the VFL.
Yeah, he played VFL last week, so I'm assuming he's still in the side today.
Yep.
So, can they respond to Hear the Bloods? I'll tell you someone else is not right this afternoon. It's Lockie Tardrew.
No, he's not getting the influence on the game he normally does, that's for sure.
Haddo wins it for the Bloods, gives it to Harvey, back to Haddo, defensive side of the centre circle. Now he spread it wide to the half-forward flank. Mills intercepts. There's an intercept mark now for the Dragons. Short pass, Keating, went just the required distance. Keating now will go for the Dragons. To half-forward, down the line. Target is the young man in Austin, who's been pretty good this afternoon, might get a free kick. That might be front on. Jeez, I thought there might be
front on contact.
Answer your question, Metro. Dayton Urata played in the VFL yesterday for Essendon against the Greater Western.
Okay.
Austin kicks was smothered. Now it was Smith. Did well to Zimmerman. Zimmerman handball over the top was good to Nitschke. They're away now. One bounce. Inside forward 50 from Davies. And short pass hits up Strubens. Good leader.
Yeah, very good. Hard for Ireland. Then he had the whole 50 to work in. There was 3 or 4 South Bendigo players streaming forward from the turnover, sharing the ball. You're probably not going to be able to intercept that one.
You know what I love about South Bendigo games at the moment is whenever Strubens gets the ball, it's just a very quiet Strubes around the ground, isn't it? And it sounds excellent.
He'll cross the paint mark of 50. The wind, the breeze has dropped off just a little, but the distance should not trouble him. It will make the distance. It's a matter of accuracy, and it slams into the post. Geez, that would have been handy.
Look
To a
good
3-point margin, 25 minutes gone. Third quarter, it's Sandhurst lead.
Dragons waste no time bringing the short pass back in. Taken by Lachlan Tarju. Deep in the right-hand forward pocket for the Dragons. He'll come down the line. Made a little bit of it for Seb Collins. Knocked away from him by Lockwood. Lockwood fed the handball forward to Burton. Might have been taken without the footy. He was. So free kick is with Tom Burton, who's 50 out from goal, but he's right on the boundary. He's side trailing by 3. He handballs off to Fallon. Fallon unlaunches on the left. It's going to go right to the line. Jack Fallon through for a minor score. I'm not sure he was expecting the handball. He was rather flat-footed, I reckon, than Fallon. But it's a 2-point ball game. 8-10-58 the Bloods. 9-6-60 Sandhurst. 25 gone third quarter. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder.
Wright plays on from fullback. He'll bring it broadcast side from the city end. Short pass hits Smith. Cooper Smith, the skipper. Joint skippers, in fact, with Fergus Green. Defensive 50. Broadcast side wing. They'll set themselves. Davis, big punt from behind for the Bloods. It was good. Keating intercepted, but kicked it straight back there to Davis. Davis now will go inboard. He's got Harvey. Harvey on the wing. He'll go laterally across the centre of the QEO. Now they'll move it forward. Bloods to half forward. Good hit up. Davey of the Bloods. Now too far out from goal. It's a long ball. It'll go to the goal square. They'll set themselves. Spills to the back. Minor scores offhand. 1-point margin. Dragons lead.
Maybe a rush of blood there. He kicked a 1-on-3 from a long way out. Never going to get the journey.
I reckon he was backing himself in based on that kick. Because otherwise you're not putting it on the head of Miller when he's got to beat 3 in the goal square. I wouldn't imagine.
If you're going to do that, you got the stand rule. Get to the side and run 5.
1-point margin. Lockie Wright brings the ball back into play. He'll clear the kick out. Nice shot mark taken over on the far wing. Lachlan Tarju is starting to come in the game a little bit. The red sign's up at Sandhurst here just to say and kill the quarter. Short pass Connick. Connick goes to Tarju. Back to where it came, and they've just been able to tick off the further 20 seconds off the clock. So Tarju has it in no hurry. Spots something he likes in the middle. It's a nice kick and a nice mark is taken as well by Wilkinson. Loving the game that Matt Wilkinson's playing. Handball back to Tarju. Steps around one. Gives it back to Wilkinson, who now they're just going to horseshoe it out of there. Into the hands of Hood. Hood wants to be a little bit faster than what he's probably been instructed. Just got the kick away after playing on. It'll land right on the paint of 50. They keep it alive. Inside forward 50 they go, looking for Fergus Green, but the mark will be taken nicely by Hayden Getty, who I think's done a pretty good job on Fergus Green this afternoon.
Gave it to Haddo by hand, then gets it back for the old 1-2. It's a dangerous kick into the corridor. And
strong grab, Rustbridge.
Wow. Rustbridge, that was dangerous. He's only 30 metres from the goal he defends, and he's hurt as he gets up.
That was a must mark, though. If he dropped that, they were in all sorts.
He's got a pebble in his shoe as he tries to walks it off. Now he plays on. He'll come broadcast side.
Straight down.
Don't like the option. 3-on-1. It's with the Dragons. They'll win it, of course, with Lockhart to the back door. Maxted. Short pass, 15-metre forward. Hits Darcy Mills.
Well, if they're quick here, Rustbridge is still down on the ground at the top of the goal square, really struggling to get back to his feet. But Sandhurst, they're happy just to chip it short. Keating's got it. Keating will then send it on the right into the hot spot. Can he get a mark? He can get a mark! Terrific pass! And it's Fergus Green who shows his AFL expertise there. The way he led to the footy and took it above his head was magnificent. And the kick was quite good as well from young Keating there, Wayne Mitrovic.
Lockhart was involved in that piece of play. So earlier we mentioned about rubbing his elbow there that Johnny thought was very funny, very humorous. But he was involved in that chain. He came off. And there was no grabbing at the arm or any discomfort, so maybe he's come good.
Deep in the third quarter, Fergus Green for his 5th goal of the day comes in, 40 out, almost directly in front, on the right, does not miss. 5 goals for Fergus Green, and Sandhurst's lead is now out to 7 points here at the QEO, late in the third quarter. Score sponsor Aussie Disposals on Live 25 local fresh footy. It's 9-6-60 playing 8-7-57.
The
8-11-59.
Refreshment tent erupted there. Maybe the effect of the day is kicking in. Nice cheers from there. And every time something happens, I can hear in the effects mic, their supporters really getting involved in this game.
Our Bendigo City Framers Sponsorship Award, Fergus Green with 5. He must be a candidate as well, and I won't try to influence you, Mitro. You're picking it for us this afternoon, as Sandhurst will win it through the middle, through with Stagg, who coughed up the ball, luckily to a pack of players, and they all dive on it.
Well, one thing that South has done with this move at the Harry Trott, feels like they've been able to increase a few more fans as well this year.
That they have. We'll have another stoppage, I reckon.
They're travelling to away games too.
Socket ball out of the middle. That might have been in danger for the second time, Mitro.
Second time.
So the kick away to the Dragons from the middle. It went 50 metres too, so he gave it a...
Here we go, Pitt, net lines up in the middle. Not quite.
Probably a little bit further out from there than what he was, but geez, as a Carlton supporter, I reckon that's the highlight of the season for me, the way he kicked that.
Very good.
3-quarter time, and it is game on at the QEO. Sandhurst 10-6-66, South Bendigo 8-11-59. A late goal in that quarter to Fergus Green, giving him a 7-point lead, and it is going to be a cracking final quarter. It's the close game in Bendigo footy today. That is on Live 25, local fresh footy.
Some Central Victoria.
The other end, South managed to get numbers in there, and it's going to pack sort of scenarios rather than those one-on-one. So I think that's where that difference is with the scoring ability, and particularly one man, Strubens.
So the final quarter from the QEO, it's a 7-point lead to Sandhurst. Who will prevail in this game? The final quarter from the QEO, here's John Hunter.
So it'll be Crisp back into the middle doing the ruck work against Smetzer, but Crisp did well. He put it down the throat of his teammate in Zimmerman, and it was just a training drill. He hit Strubens on the chest, and he'll line them up, and that bit of play took about 8 seconds, Metro.
How did it go again, Metro?
Strubens. Well, normally he's one-on-one stuff, but that was just a pure lead and a beautiful kick committed by that midfielder a beer.
The ruck work and then the finish by Zimmerman to hit Strubens. Can he finish? And he doesn't. If they're going to win this game, they've got to kick those ones. And it was a minor score, it was. So it's a 1-goal straight margin, 66 playing 60.
5 goals, 3 on the day now for Stephen Strubens. Could have easily had what they refer to as a bag, which is 6 goals according to the great Joel Peterson.
6,
South
not
Bendigo
5.
will bring the ball in. Swatton emerged with the footy, couldn't take it. Zimmerman handballs out to Burton. Tardrew on his hammer, just got it out to Haddo. Haddo sends it into the hot spot. Lockwood comes in, couldn't quite take the mark. Spills to Strubens through the head back. Umpire not buying it. We'll have a ball up at the top of the goal square. MCDFNL footy, it's Natty Bielaba 5-4-34 to Trentham 9-8-62. Carisbrook 3-7-25 Carisbrook 7-8-50 to Denali 4-5-29.
Blood's deep in attack. Zimmerman on the end of a handball, and he goes goalward. And I reckon Kobe Maxted has missed it. He had a fresh area at it, and it is a goal. So we're all tied up here at the QEO, 10-6-66. Playing 8-12, 9-12, 66 for James Westcott Builder, Live 25, local fresh.
More scores in the MCDFNL. Navarre 9-9-63, Newstead 8-4-52. And Lexus 4-3-27, trailing Harcourt 13-5-83.
Maxted not happy in that piece of play, maybe missing the third umpire. He felt like he was being retarded and held back from it, being able to compete for that ball.
That was my initial thought, that maybe he just looked like he might have been held off being able to compete to touch it. But either way, he scores a level. Well, if it's anything like last week, who knows? There won't be any added time on to this game today, though, last week, John Hunter. No. Tardrew emerges with the footy for Sandhurst. Strong tackle. We'll have a ball up. Of course, there's 11 players out on this ground that played in that game last week that went into extra time on the Sunday.
Can we have 2 draws?
So there may be some tired bodies out there is what I'm getting at, with an extra day's less break. Sandhurst emerged with the footy. Inside forward 50. Mark not taken by Campbell. Tracking back there, Morris. He couldn't quite take it, and the tackling is good from South Bendigo to hold up. That's what I mean with that one less day's break and an extra 20 minutes of footy last week.
Sandhurst in it. I want to draw me, Tro. I want to draw. I want another one.
Have we had one this season?
Well, on Sunday we did in the Interleague, not in the, and it was exciting times. But it is now Tardrew on the end of a handball, 40-metre ball around the body. It'll go to the line, and it is legal. There was a bit going on.
I'm not sure it was.
Right on the line. I'll get to Wayne Mitrovic to explain it in a tick, as it's a 1-goal margin now. It's South Bendigo. Sandhurst they lead 11-6-72 to 9-12-66 the Blood. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Well, we see that Taj has been quiet today. If there's any time they need their good players to stand up, it is right now. He has delivered when they needed it. But on that goal line there, it was 2-on-1. Fergus Green worked his player under the ball into the other defender from South Bendigo to like 10 pins. And the ball sailed through for a goal.
Chris knocked it down. Haddo emerged with the footy and sent it straight back inside forward 50. Swatton tracks after it. It's picked up nicely, though, by Davies. Davies sends it to the top of the goal square. They're out the back here, the Bloods, and they just couldn't quite find the way through. Isaiah Miller on the goal line. Sandhurst have dumped on top of it. The South Bendigo got a bit of following behind the goals that were screaming for the ball. They're not getting it. Ball right in the goal square. Entertaining game of footy here at the QEO. We've definitely got the close one in Bendigo footy today. Lockwood took it out of the ruck. Free kick was being held. It's against Lockwood, though. So free kick Sandhurst with Hugh Smetzer.
So it's a 1-goal margin. Dragons lead. Smetzer from the Barnard Street end will send it swimming pool sides. Darkening skies. Whistle. Free kick Dragons across half-back. Might have been for a Shepherd. They'll look to move it. Well, they're looking still to move it quickly. I don't know if that's the way to go. Brom, he's got a teammate running shotgun. That was Mills. Mills to the Dragon to Hart forward. Looks for Greens. They've got the numbers. Foot by Wilkinson. Puts it inside forward 50 and Smith takes a mark. He's got a player in Connick running. Goal square will be open. Runs in and misses. Does he? Goal. Gee whiz. That must have been close. It looked like it was ugly off the boot, and he's popped it through. So it's out to a 2-goal margin now. And that's score sponsor Parsons towing in Castlemaine. Live 25, local fresh footy, 12-6-78, playing 9-12-66. I got it wrong, Metro, but it did look ugly, but it doesn't matter.
Did look ugly. Geez, it's a tricky one. Cooper Smith takes on 20 metres out straight in front. Does a dicky little kick to the bloke that's free, but just go back and kick it, I reckon.
Yeah. I reckon the idea of a handball there was to run onto it, but he had to stop and prop and wait for the ball to kind of land because Smith's kick kind of went more higher than what he would have expected. But it's a 2-goal lead to Sandhurst now, and it might just be one more goal from them, maybe enough at this stage. But there's still plenty of footy left in this one here at the QEO. 78 playing 66. Knocked down. Fallon in there for South Bendigo, couldn't take it. Collins emerges with it, just got the handball out in time. Zimmerman went through Fallon. Well, he went over the top of the footy. Tarju's gone down. The ball spills out. Not to be critical of Jack Fallon here, but he just seemed a little bit off his game this afternoon, hasn't he, Johnny? I know you've mentioned that a couple of times.
Yeah, well, he's made a couple of uncharacteristic blues. But they're still in this game as Zimmerman wins it from the ruck throw ball up off half-back. It was a poor kick in the end, really. Brome did well for the Dragons. Plays on quickly. On the left, he'll go deep inside forward 50. Fergus Green is the target. Tapped it to himself. Then goes around the body. Good! And kicks a goal! That is all class. Fergus Green for his 6th this afternoon. That takes it to 13-6-84 to the Bloods 9-12-66 in a blinking of an eye for sponsor Jason Westcott Builder, Live 25, local fresh footy.
Just no matter what you do structurally or team play, sometimes they're just moments of brilliance from an individual, and I think that's what we've seen there. That was just all on him. It was beautiful to watch. It's great to put some heat back now in South Bendigo, and it's actually forcing an asking question to respond, and to their credit, they've been able to do it so far.
Another close game going on in the Heathcote District Footy League, 15 minutes into the last quarter. Scores a level between North Bendigo and Mount Pleasant at 69 apiece. Ball up here in the middle. Crisp won the tap down for the Bloods, but it's taken away by Sandhurst. Free kick is going to go the way of Hood, who quickly wheels the kick out on the direction of Morris. Morris takes the mark. 90 out from goals. Got plenty of options inside forward 50. He goes with a little low ball in the Fergus Green direction. He trapped it nicely. Green's hard up against the boundary line, was tackled as he kicked, and it will float out of bounds. But not on the full. It will be an out of bounds. Boundary throw in underneath the scoreboard. Sandhurst have opened up a 3-goal lead, Wayne Mitrovic.
Yes, now in the ruck duel during the day, Griffith stayed out of the defensive 50 and engaged the ruckman, but now he's gone in to compete here.
The ball is thrown in. Pack forms. Might have to be a whistle, and there will be. Now, Bendigo City Framers Sponsorship Award, $100 voucher this afternoon. Wayne Mitrovic is picking it for us. I don't envy the task. He's got probably a few in line. Fergus Green with a club bit of brilliance with 6 goals. Not trying to influence him. How many times have I said that this afternoon? Sandhurst, have they got a chance here? Can they get out? Good strong tackling. 20 metres out from goal by the Bloods. It goes. In fact, it will be Jack Fallon who gets the free kick from the back pocket.
Great hit.
In the middle they go. The Bloods will get it through Hare. He'll wheel it up towards centre half forward. Spills out the back. Antonowitz couldn't quite get to his feet. He's managed to tap the ball forward. Just missed Isaiah Miller. Sandhurst will clear it out of defence, and it works its way to Keating. Keating could then clear up the line. Nice kick to Morris. Morris will come in forward and find Tarju, who's been busy this quarter. Charlie Robinson all on his own at the top of 50, but he didn't get it there. He's going to slow it down. And then he'll send the kick out in the direction. In fact, it's a lovely weighted kick to Mills, who marks it right on the paint of 50. Who's almost directly in front. Mills doesn't want to take the shot. Poor marking inside forward 50 from the Bloods. Robinson floated across, dropped an uncontested mark, which invites South Bendigo back into the contest. They get away with one there. Kick comes out to Van Humen. Van Humen will send it down to a 2-on-1, and the one of Sims almost came through. He did. Handball to Hare. Haddo got it, lost it. Going through, picking up the footy there. As Davies tackled straight away. We'll have a ball up.
I just feel like South Bendigo need to wake up now, Metro. We said the Dragons to wake up about half an hour ago, but it just turned now.
It has. It sort of just swung back the other way.
Up, Crisp goes in the ruck. to Haddo. Haddo handball over the top. It was a cruel bounce for Sims. Couldn't win it. Connick does for the Dragons. Gave it by hand to Tardrew. Tardrew to forward 50. A long ball. Campbell was his target for the Dragons, but it comes off his hands. And we'll have a ball in. Right on the intersection of 50 and the boundary line. Broadcast side in front of us. In front of the Social Club of the Dragons there. It's full this afternoon. The boundary umpire will come in a little bit. He'll throw it in. Up they go in the ruck. Crisp, a double-handed tap. He put it down at the throat of his teammate Swatton. Swatton kicked it. Miller getting involved. Spreads it wide. Poor kick. Makes his teammate work. Now it's on the outer side wing. Contested footy. Ground level. It's the Dragons. They'll win it at ground level. Smith on the end of a handball. Dragons will go to half forward. Spots up the young player who's been pretty good this afternoon in Austin. Inside forward 50. A charging Fergus Green. He fumbled. Again picked it up. He tried to dish it off by hand. Still 55 out. Hurried ball. Mills will go into the hot spot. Dangerous position. And good strong defensive mark. Intercepted by the Bloods. And I'm going to take a deep breath there, Cameron Power.
Yeah, it was Jack Fallon who stood in the hole and took the terrific intercept grab. Collins certainly came in and made him earn it afterwards. Sent it out to Harvey. Harvey got a fly, couldn't take the mark. Spills to the back of the pack. Dragons will wheel the kick inside forward 50. Wilkinson's going to try and come in from behind. Couldn't get there. Spills to ground level. Fallon at the back. Nice handball out to Harvey. Now they've got to be dangerous. To Swatton. Swatton gives it on. Now they're away through the middle of the ground, the Bloods. Burton's kick was not great. And an intercept mark by Schmetzer. And it just feels like every time the Bloods have got it going this quarter, the Dragons have had answers down back. Schmetzer to Connick, who will chip the pass down the grandstand side wing to Cooper Smith. Handballs over the top to young Lockhart, who gets some space. Handballs back to Smith. He sells some candy to Burton, then sends the kick in the Campbell direction. Tom Campbell presented and took the grab. 40 metres out, slightly to the right of goals. But a magnificent build-up and passage of play from Sandhurst. Young Lockhart was involved in it. And he was involved with his captain, Cooper Smith, who delivered the important pass inside 50.
Yeah, look, I think where the game's changed now, the Dragons they're getting the ball away from any 50-50 or sort of stoppage scenario. It's coming out and going the Dragons' way now.
Just the one goal this afternoon for Tom Campbell, but he kicks truly. 14-6-90 to 9 goals, 12 South Bendigo. It's a 4-goal lead to the Dragons. 2 goals now for Tom Campbell. 30 goals on the season for him. He ties with Brock Harvey, who is also on 30 goals, who hasn't kicked one this afternoon. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, Live 25 Local Fresh Footy.
Not out of the question at all that 4 goals are starting to get into that realm of, gee, it's going to be tough from here. If there's any chance at all, and we can see if they turn it on, Strubens will kick him himself if they can get it to him, but they need it to happen right now.
Probably go 30 minutes this final term. We've gone 14, so plenty of time. Haddo wins it out of the middle for the Bloods. Goes shallow inside forward 50, but it's all with the Dragons. They're switched on now. Coughlin by hand. Gives it to Connick. Connick will spread it to the outer side wing, and he hits a target in Austin. Geez, he's been good this afternoon. He's a candidate for the Bendigo City Framers sponsorship $100 voucher as he will slow it down. Good young player. He played in the under-19 interleague game for Bendigo against the Amos on Sunday. He goes long. They'll set themselves. Campbell was the target. And with the Bloods, they'll mop up after half-back. They need to be careful, though. Collins did well for the Dragons on that occasion, and he wins a free kick on left half forward. Hands it off. Gives it there to Smith. Smith of the Dragons. He's got Campbell in the goal square and takes the mark. He's come alive. And to seal the game, one would think, it'll take it out to 5 goals, and he shouldn't miss Mitro.
Bryce, the coach there for the Dragons, attention to detail. He's yelling at Campbell, take your 30 seconds. Taking nothing for chance. You play every angle you can, don't you, to get the result?
Absolutely. He's at the top of the goal square. The man on the mark. Campbell only have to kick through the footy. He made it work. but it worked well enough. Snuck it in for a goal. That makes it very, very difficult now for the Bloods. The Bloods are labouring on 9-12-66. Sandhurst 14-6-90. Score sponsor Parsons Towing. Live 25. Local fresh footy. We've just ticked over 15 minutes in this final term.
I see Crisp in the ruck is becoming more dominant with getting his first hand on the ball as the game's gone on. But what I found, Smetzer, when it hits the ground, he's like another baller in there, and his work around the ground is starting to be probably more influential than the tap at the moment.
We said we had the close one in Bendigo footy, Johnny, but it's not that way at the moment. Castlemaine are coming back slightly, 11-11-77 to Gisborne, 15-8-98. Sandhurst go inside forward 50. It's picked up by and sent goalwards. In fact, he might have even kicked the goal. It might be Nick Stagg on the end of it. The handball from Cooper Smith was magnificent. Nick Stagg slots the goal, his second, and bang, bang, Sandhurst are out by 6 goals.
Yeah, once again, Crisp got the tap there in the ruck, but it was the opposition ruckman that got the clearance. So they're not sort of capitalising in there. Zimmerman's in there at the moment. I'd like to see him now. I thought he's been really good. Haddo and Swatton doing the tagging role. Lockie Tardue hasn't had that big influence. Drop the tag and have to go all out attack here.
16-6, 102 to 9-12-66. The other game in Bendigo footy, Strathfield say 4-7-31 to Eaglehawk 7-12-54. And Kangaroo Flat, they're a long way behind Golden Square 30, playing 116.
Score sponsor Don Smallgoods is good as Sandhurst go inside forward 50 again. And without a blinking of an eye, it's a possibility that Sandhurst might double the Blood score.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is absolutely madness. 102 to 66. They're still a little way off it, but if they get another purple patch here, they're across half forward, 60 from goal. Up they'll go in the ruck. Tardrew wins it from the ruck contest, and Zimmerman wouldn't let him go of the Blood. So 55 from goal. Dragons in attack. Up they go in the ruck. Collins for the Dragons. They'll tap it to advantage. Connick picks it up. Shallow inside forward 50. Hard up against the boundary line. Campbell walks it over and will have a ball in 49 metres from the Dragons' goal.
Cooper Smith's come into the game a lot in this second half as well, Wayne Mitrovic. He might be a contender.
He's definitely in the mix. He's been very good.
He got a hard job this afternoon to pick that one. MCDFNL Trentham are kicked away from Natty. 17-13, 115 to Natty Bialba 5-5-35. Just the 1 point since half time in that one for Natty Bialba. So that's a big result in MCDFNL.
You're going to get a kick here, Cameron?
The kick's gone flying out of there, and it's skew-whiffed out of bounds on the full. It's almost ended up in our commentary box here. It's a good old-fashioned mung shank, I guess you could call it. A mung shank.
Mills, short, Connick inside forward 50. What a bullet kick! It just was a little bit too severe. Haddo mobs up by hand. He gives it to Smith and they're away, the Bloods.
Up towards Strubens. Couldn't quite take it, but Lockwood did well. Gave the handball backwards and it'll be sent inside by Isaiah Miller. Needs it to bounce for Sims. It didn't. Picked up by Sandhurst. They'll go backwards off a little dinky pass. Now they can just control possession through Darcy Mills, who is calm and composed. Nice kick down the line.
That's 50.
Grandstand side wing finds Charlie Robinson. No Barrack in the commentary box, Metro. Robinson wheels the ball up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Spills out there from Hare. Gave it off to Van Human. Van Human goes in forward and a strong mark taken by Burton. And, well, he was made to earn it, but it was a terrific grab. Tommy Burton. Lockie Tard defends mark. Burton switched the kick out twice to Harvey.
How could we ever doubt Sandhurst? What a class outfit they've been. As Harvey passed short into the middle to the coach in Fallon. Fallon long inside forward 50. They'll set themselves. Good strong mark. Is that Connick down there that's worked from... Boy, oh boy, how fast did he work?
It's been his strength, actually. He does a lot of defensive work and he's quite good overhead.
20 minutes into the last quarter, North Bendigo leading Mount Pleasant by 5 points, so keep an eye on that score. And full-time score, Carisbrook 10-9-69 defeated Denali 6-6-42.
Dragons inside forward 50 again. Austin getting involved. He goes inboard. Corridor one-on-one. Needs to be careful. Rusbridge might get a free kick too high, which will leave the tempo and the pressure momentarily. Short pass, Zimmerman tries a one-hander off half-back. He's up against it. He's against Tardrew and Stagg. Didn't have a choice. The only chance he had was to get a free kick, and he exactly got that. Picks it up like a sneaky little rat he is.
Yeah, but he didn't go over the line.
And won't get a free kick.
What are you trying to say about Anthony Zimmerman?
Oh, it's just he tried to sneak off with it.
Sneaker's sneak, I guess you could say, and he wasn't a sneaker in that situation because he didn't cross back over to where he needed to go. Short pass forward, Burton will emerge with the footy. Wheels the kick up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Spills out to Fallon. Fallon was shaking like he was going to handball it. Then he sends it in the direction of Struben. Struben's in a one-on-one contest. Hits the bottom of the pack right on the paint of 50. Umpire circling. Crosses his arms. Of course, umpire Scott Bennett and Marcus Osborne out there. Dean Goodridge, a half-time withdrawal from this game in what can only be described as some sort of...
Does he get double pay, go from one game to the other?
I don't know. Was it Scott Baxter that did a hamstring at the game at Golden Square, we understand? So
no, it wasn't Scott Baxter. I don't think Scotty's umpiring this year. No, it was... I'll get back to you on that one.
I thought you said it was Scott.
No, I'll tell you exactly who it was. You call the footy and I'll do all the admin in the background.
Oh, South Bendigo, I've got the ball inside 450. There's not a lot happening in the possession at the moment. It was quite interesting to see. You called it at half-time when you seen Goodridge packed his bags and ran. He would have been better off keeping his umpiring gear on. I reckon he could have just parked his car.
Umpire Snell it was.
Do you reckon they let him into the ground at Wade Street Oval or made him park at the school and walk down?
And pay.
And pay to get in as well. Well, usually if you wait till half-time, you get in for free after half-time, don't you?
I was actually glad that it wasn't bad news. Well, when I say bad news, could have been something personal, which it wasn't. It was just an injury. As we're treading water here, Cam, and this game is over, really, when you think about it. And a free kick will go to the Dragons, deep in the back pocket. 1 for 2 high. And as I said, what a class outfit they've been. Stagg has got the free kick for the Dragons. He gets up hobbling, then just shakes it off. Deep in the back pocket, Barnard Street end. Talking about servants for Sandhurst, how good Stagg been for a number of years now. Beyond 50 they go, but a good, strong contested mark has been taken by Lockwood of the Bloods.
Lockwood's kick was, well, described that one as a mung, as what we called before, into the middle. Player from South Bendigo has gone down hard at the bottom of that pack and will have a ball up. And a little bit disappointing this last quarter. It was shaping up to be an epic.
Yeah.
And South Bendigo just haven't been able to deliver.
I didn't think it was going to go one way or the other. I thought it was going to be an arm wrestle to go right down to the wire. Back into the action here.
That it is.
Only momentarily.
Yeah, it was hardly any action in that. Ball up.
I think the legs are heavy.
Here we go. Ball up, hit the bottom of the pack, cross the arms, do it again. See if we can get out of there this time. Lockwood won it down. It was sharked out of there by Sandhurst. They wheel the kick down the poolside wing. Brock Harvey's the first man back there. Hasn't played much forward time today, Brock Harvey. Certainly playing a different role today, which has been an interesting one. We'll get your thoughts on that one in a moment, Metro. He gets a 1-2 pass. Look to come corridor. He does. Into the hands of Sims. So Sims will then switch the kick out wide. The player coming off, leaving Fergus Green and running out after it there. Short pass was good. Came from Geddes. Geddes to Hare. The captain, who always wears the long sleeve for the Bloods. Zach Hare. He'll wheel around onto the right foot. Send it inside forward 50. Lockwood the target. But a good strong mark floating in from the side for the Dragons. It's young Matt Wilkinson. If I was picking our best on ground Bendigo City Framers Award today, I reckon that's where I'd be going, but I'm not interfering with what you're picking today, Wayne Metrovic. Short pass was good. They'll send it down the line. Robinson has the footy. It'll come for Tom Campbell. Couldn't quite take it, but it spills to Stagg. Off to Tarju. Robinson gets it. Can run inside 50. Could blaze away. Passes off to Green instead. Green's forced to shake and bake one way. Handball to Tarju. He shrugs off a tackle. Gets on the left. Unselfish footy from the Dragons. And Cooper Smith takes the mark. And if I'm not going in the direction of him, I'm going with Cooper Smith, because he's been magnificent in this final quarter.
Yeah, been very
you might
good.
disagree with me altogether, I reckon. I don't know. But.
Oh, well, Wilkinson sucked you in with the classic. What will you do? You play really well in the first quarter and the last quarter. It's a definite way to get votes. And a bit quiet in the middle, but Cooper Smith has been very good all day. And that's hard running.
So it was a good unselfish pass as well. Cooper Smith, 25 out directly in front, increases the margin to 42 points. 17-6, 108 to 9-12, 66. It doesn't feel like the game deserves a 42-point margin from what we've seen. Live Score sponsor Aussie Disposals on Live 25, local fresh footy.
You see that the opportunity there late in the game, 40 points is the margin. A couple minutes to go, have them forward, Fergus Green or Tardru, then you'd probably make a case, just have a shot over your shoulder, bit of party time. But as leaders of the club, they looked for someone in a better position, got them to them, and made sure the team got the goal.
Wayne Smith has texted through final score: Mount Pleasant 10-18-78, Wakeman and Rovers with 3 each defeated North Bendigo 11-9-75. The winning goal was in the air and sailed through as the siren went. It's the first win at North Bendigo for Mount Pleasant since 2008. So talk about a ring-a-ding-ding game there. Mount Pleasant beating North Bendigo on the siren to win their first game there since 2008.
Like an absolute cracker.
So that is what I'm predicting is the Heathcote League finals may play out as a grand final this year. As you can tell that there's not really much in this game left at the moment. Dragons work it into the middle. It's picked off though for them in the hands of Rome. Rome will then tip the pass down the line. Misses target. Robinson's come into the game in this last quarter. Handball off inside forward 50. Tom Campbell dropped the mark. And he could have gone back and slotted himself a third, which was unable to do so. Bloods will emerge with the footy. Geddes, his handball was straight back into danger. The danger was Lockie Tarju. Couldn't take clean possession. We'll have another ball up. But the other interesting thing out of today's game is with 3 goals to Tom Campbell, that puts him up to 31 goals on the year, and he's now into outright second on the Ron Best medal total. Brock Harvey was 2 goals clear heading into this game. But Brock Harvey hasn't kicked the goal, as we call Brock Harvey getting a possession down back, and he's taken in the tackle. We'll have a ball up. Caden Antonowitz still leads that with 32 goals, as Jack O'Shaughnessy is goalless in the Eagle Hawk game, I'm led to believe, today as well. So there's a battle to keep an eye on for the remainder of the season. But Tom Campbell is putting his name up there for a chance at a medal come the end of the season. Picked off by Collins, who tries to go goalwards. No mark taken, Wilkinson. Haddo handballs to Fallon. Fallon tackled straight away. Umpire crosses his arms at the top of the goal square and says we'll ball it up.
He couldn't do much there. Fallon was under pressure when he received the handball. Probably a great decision just to hold it in and get another ball up.
That we will. Ball up at the top of the goal square, picked up and sent goalwards for Sandhurst. It was Lockie Tarju, but the umpire was definitively clear that it was touched on the way through. So a minus score, 109 playing 66. Fallon brings the short pass in for the Bloods to Brock Harvey. Harvey's kick down the line was good. Now they can get it through Sims. He'll wheel and go quickly down the line. Kobe Maxted started the game forward, but he's been playing behind the ball for most of the second half. Was good. Intercept grab. They didn't have too many of them in that second and third quarter, Norm Jenkins, as they get it out to Stagg. Stagg wheels it inside. Campbell again couldn't quite take the grab, spills to ground, and we'll have a ball up.
No, that's their 4th intercept mark in the centre of the ground during this last quarter.
Well, it wasn't actually a ball up. It was called to play on, and eventually they worked it out of there, the Bloods, but the kick will be coming straight back. Intercept mark taken for Sandhurst.
I just think South have lost legs a little.
Handball off to Keating. We'll go back to where it came. This time it's Maxted. 55 out. Tried to go a little bit too dinky. Kick smothered. Sims got it. Handball came from the Bloods there through Smith. And Smith's kick down the line will go out of bounds.
Yeah, South were very attacking in that middle portions of the game, taking the ball through the centre and really put them in a strong position to attack. Now they're going back to more long down the line, but people aren't spreading as much. It's late in the last quarter. It's tiredness sets in.
Side forward 50, Cooper Smith. Tom Campbell the target again, who's been very busy, especially since half-time. Picked up Wilkinson, tackled straight away, spills out for the Bloods. Swatton emerged with it, just handballed it up in the air. Turnover. It's with Robinson. Robinson's short pass looking for Green. Green can turn his man inside out. He's on the boundary. Unselfishly centres it. Campbell was a little bit too strong on the touch, but he still got on the end of it, Tom Campbell, and he still managed to find a goal. Something out of nothing. Tom Campbell's got 4. And he just managed to get his boot to ball. It's just been one of those last quarters if you're a Sandhurst supporter. 32 goals on the season now for Tom Campbell. In fact, that actually ties him with Caden Antonowitz for the equal leading goal kick. In fact, no, sorry, Antonowitz has got 1 this afternoon. He's 1 goal behind Antonowitz. Brock Harvey, the South Bendigo player that hasn't kicked a goal. So it's only 1 goal difference in that. Considering we're talking about that, that shows where this game is at the moment. 8-17, 115, playing 9-12-66. About to hit the 30th minute mark of this final quarter, and there might be a few more minutes yet because the Dragons have piled on the goals in this quarter. Jesse Collins goes back for South Bendigo. He's going to get a free kick for a high tackle.
A bit lucky there.
Happy
but
with the
first
treatment he
ball.
copped there either. So he'll wheel the kick in board. Mark is taken for South Bendigo in the hands of Alexander Smith. He'll wheel it up towards centre half forward, dropping the mark there was Miller. He's been pretty busy this afternoon. I've liked his game. Going through with Smith for the Bloods, who's going to get pinned for holding the ball. So Sandhurst tackling pressure, still 30 minutes into the last quarter when they're a long way in front, is still absolutely magnificent.
I would have liked to see Miller move up the ground actually in this last quarter, early in it, to help get him back in the game.
I also feel like they might have missed a trick as well, just by not having Brock Harvey playing forward. Feels like they missed a lot of opportunities when they were on top that they could have converted to goals. Dragons will clear it out of there. Smetzer takes the mark for Sandhurst. Swatton approached over the mark. Umpire was generous. The final siren sounds to end the game here at the QEO. And Sandhurst run out victors in Bendigo footy round 12. 8-17, 18-7, 115. South Bendigo 9-12-66. Wayne Mitrovic. What did you think of that game? It was a disappointing final quarter from the Bloods.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They'll be disappointed because they actually did a lot of hard work there after that first quarter to get themselves back in the game. So their second and third quarters were really strong and matched or even surpassed what Sandhurst were doing with their intensity. And I really think they changed their ball movement to go through the middle of the ground, a lot more attacking. And they got Strubens capitalising on up the other end while he was running hot. And that last quarter, I actually thought it was going to go down to the wire. I thought we were in for a heart stopper. As Norm
That's what I was
called
expecting at three-quarter time.
Norm said, no, Sanders will run away with this in the end, and he was dead right, and that's the way it's panned out. But Sanders actually had some really good players that were down compared to normal and challenged some of the others like Austin to step up and play really well. And yeah, they're on top of the ladder for a reason. You need to play 4 quarters of footy against them, and South played probably 2 and a bit. But I still think they'll come out of the game knowing if they can, they won't be frightened by Sandhurst by any means. Like, they'll get enough confidence out of this performance today to say we tied up a couple areas. I know Coatsy and Jack Fallon are very good with the stats and analysing the vision, and they'll work out areas that they're deficient in and rectify them. They won't be worrying about when they're playing the bottom half of the ladder. They'll be looking at how we need to play against the top half, the Gisbornes and the Sandhurst, and that's where they'll be basing their game around, I'd say, going forward.
Norm Jenkin, what would the stats say that led towards that last quarter for Sandhurst?
Well, it was a complete dominance by Sandhurst, 21 inside 50s for 8 goals won. It was 8 straight until that rush point near the end there.